from Western Athletics, and lane 9, Michaels from Geelong Guild to round out the field in the women's G race.
All right, and this women's 800G event, or even first start. Now starting to make
so once again, only a couple of seconds spreading the athletes with PBs between 2:26 and 2:28 in this race here. So be looking about 73-second first lap at least to get a PB tonight. So it's the Essendon runner, Stephanie Hyman, in the lead, but they're very, very bunched up. As mentioned, only 2 seconds should separate the athletes at the finish of the race, let alone 200 metres in.
That is a packed little bunch there. Really on each other's heels at the moment.
Looks like I think French has now worked away to the front here. Hyman is still very, very well placed.
So it looks like Emily French, who has made her way to the front, with Hyman still right up on her shoulder, not too far behind. Actually, Hyman has gone back in the pack. The lead is changing. The pack's changing. It's so tightly bunched. It's going to be an exciting second lap in this race as we see Ruby Crisp up on the shoulder of Emily French as they go through their first lap in 67, 68, 69 seconds, Jake.
Absolutely. It is a tight bunch. French is there.
So Yara Taylor from Western Athletics.
Ruby Crisp is there. Michaela Michaels is there.
I wouldn't want to be a betting man on this one, Jake. I couldn't call it at all.
We see the move made by Emily French. Melbourne University absolutely made a huge and a growing gap. Just absolutely turning on the afterburners there. There's about 100 to go. It's Courtney Parker. My apologies, it is Courtney Parker in the lead. A massive move made there.
Big run down the back straight, taking up the lead.
And for such a tight battle that it was 400 metres ago, Courtney Parker's absolutely smashed it out of the water.
Followed then by Cripps, then comes Michaels, and some of the early leaders. We've got French coming in, Cripps coming in.
A very solid PB from our winner in Courtney Parker there by a few seconds. With a couple other PBs in the leaders as well in that race. Very tough conditions. You can see the athletes really feeling it after this race.
So is this the Dash for Cash coming up now, I think?
It is. How exciting is this? The men's
G.
G 800 race, the Dash for Cash. So once again, the winner of this race gets $100 cash.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but not as good as a PB though, is it, Michael?
No, of course not. Might go towards some nice spikes though or something to help them get more PBs though.
Yeah, I think so. Or some Gatorade tonight.
Yeah.
Could do with it.
Marley Dickinson from Canada. Your race is about to start. Marley Dickinson from Canada. Like to see you out here.
Looks like we're going international for this G heat of the men's 800. The Canadian athlete in Marley Dickinson. I don't know if he's going to show up to the start line. They were just calling his name.
I understand the few-minute delay for the athlete from Canada to make their way to the start line. You wouldn't want to be coming all the way from Canada and miss your race.
Maybe just kicking his guts up. He's a little bit nervous now that he knows $100 is on the line.
Yeah.
He knew it was going to be a G race. He came over for the prize money, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Tim Crosby must have given a word that it was going to be the men's G that got the dash for the cash.
Look at this. This is exciting. With another check on the Bureau of Meteorology website, we are down to 38.7 degrees.
That's nice.
So we've dropped a total of
0.7.
Yeah, 0.7 degrees in the last half hour.
What's your prediction by the time we get to about the men's A race, 8:23? What's your prediction that it'll drop down another 5? Please say 6, 7
Yeah, I'd
degrees,
say another
please.
1.5 degrees. I'd put down a 36.2 maybe.
Ooh.
Just write that down. We'll see how we go.
I'll let you know. I'll stick my finger out when I'm on the other side of the course, and I'll let you know if you're right or wrong. I'm going to call this race, and then I've got to go warm up for my event.
Beautiful.
So you're hoping for it to drop to about 29 or so, Jake?
That'd be perfect for me.
Okay. Start list for our next race. Take away, James.
Alrighty, I've got the honours, hey. So wearing heat number 1 will be Jordan Donnelly, he's our invitational athlete. Number 2, David Greig from Ivanhoe. 3, Jacob Pearson, Athletics Nunawading. Number 4, Luke Mickle-Venner from Athletics Essendon. Number 5, Simon Blight from Bellarine Athletics. And our Canadian, number 6, Marley Dickinson. Number 7 from South Melbourne, Raymond Nair. 8, Lyndon Bear. And number 9, Christian Weitz from Western Athletics.
Jack's got some work out to get these guys around.
2:05.9 is the fastest seed time in this race, with the slowest 2:08, so 2.1 seconds that separates this field. This should be exciting, and $100 on the line, so let's see how these guys go.
They settle in behind him, but it looks like Donnelly is eased up in next place from
So let's clarify, the pacemaker can't get the cash. So leading through 200, 30 seconds, they're spurred on by this cash for sure, so from Athletics Nunawading, that must be Jacob Pearson, I'd say. So through 300 now, it's Jacob Pearson, trailed by our Athletics Essendon athlete, would be Luke Mickle-Venner.
I hope that Jacob doesn't think the cash is awarded after 400 metres.
No, definitely 800.
To go.
Right, here we go. Bell lap now, Pearson in the lead.
Yeah, and even better, he is well and truly under PB pace at this point. The whole field is actually. So 63 pace for most of them. And they've gone through all under sub 60. So we have Luke Mickle-Venner.
As the runners go by him, running extremely well, Blight from Bellarine.
It looks Blight from Bellarine making his way to the lead. 200 metres to go in this dash for cash.
It looks like Pearson from Nunawading's not done with yet though.
He doesn't want to give up, and why would you? Running for PBs, running for this cash.
Striding around the home turn, $100 on the line now, and the runs have been made. So what a great run here coming down the straight. I'll take a punt.
And who is it that we have in lead? Is that
What a great run here by
Jordan Donnelly? Jordan Donnelly, 10 metres in lead. 2:05 as well. So a PB for Jordan Donnelly, $100 cash. How great is Milers Club?
Beautiful.
So it's a few invitational athletes running in the blank singlets. That made a little bit hard to call in that one. If all the athletes could wear their proper club singlets from now and make the ease of calling a bit better for us, that'd be appreciated.
Young Jacob Pearson, who led through in the 400 there, we actually share the same coach. So I know today was his first time at the Milers Club. He's taken it out pretty hard. I think probably from the 400 mark to the 500 mark, he probably eased off a little bit. Maybe he was a bit too excited, but I tell you what, he came home in that last straight, ended up finishing. It would be a photo finish, but around second, third. It was a brave effort by the young lad there from Athletics Nunawading.
Absolutely, had that real distance runner's instinct in him, not giving up even when he got a bit tired. Had that second win. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, I reckon there was even a second or third win there. I thought on the back straight that he might have been catching back up to the leaders, and then they took off again. And then with 100, he had another big surge, but. That's the exciting thing about these middle distance races. It's
exactly would have been great to see from that young athlete.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to take off now. I'm going to have to start my warm-up, start my prep, start my all my preparations ready for the men's 800.
So what time are you on?
The A race, 8:23 I am on. So
beautiful.
Give myself just exactly an hour's warm-up, as I like to do.
So
Wonderful.
tune in, guys. Make sure you continue watching, or at least come back for Jake's race at 8:23.
I'll be the one in the orange
You get
commentator.
those
singlet,
good luck
but,
comments going on Facebook, I reckon.
Yeah, all the best, guys.
Exactly.
Thanks,
Thanks, Jake. So this women's F 800 metre race on the line now. Lane 1, Ruby Lucky from Wellington. Lane 2, Amy Craig from Box Hill. Lane 3, Georgia Miller from Western Athletics. Lane 4, Shania Murray from Diamond Valley. We had Murray earlier on from Diamond Valley as well, who took out the win.
Yeah. Any relations? I don't know.
Yeah. Lane 5, Affinity Miller from Athletics Essendon. Lane 6, Eliza Lepere from Ballarat. Lane 7, Matilda Strugnell from Sandringham. Lane 8, Matilda Moore from Bendigo Harriers. Lane 9, Amelia McGowan from Athletics Chilwell, maybe a relation to Britt McGowan, the 800 metre runner. And lane 10, Alyssa Waugh from Wellington Athletic Club, James. So 3 seconds separating the seed times of these athletes from 2:23 to 2:26.
In this event 11, women's 800 metres.
We need to travel through that first lap in about a 71, 72 seconds to be on PB pace. So we'll track them and see how they go.
It looks like could be McGowan and possibly Miller as they settle in at the lead. And
So it looks like it could be McGowan
get the rest of the runners. I think Lepere is also in there with them.
in the lead. The athlete from Wellington as she moves towards the 200 metre mark.
Carrick's still on in
Athletes in the middle, fairly tightly bunched as you would expect in an 800 metre race.
themselves out.
And that looks like the uniform of Alyssa Waugh from Wellington, possibly. Yes, Alyssa Waugh moves towards the lead. Affinity Miller not far behind the athlete from Athletics Essendon.
Very comfortably is Alyssa Waugh from Wellington. Waugh leading. Coming around the outside is Carrick.
So they go for that first lap in 109, well on track, all of them, to get under their 223 to 226 PBs, James.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight pack at the moment, which is always exciting to see. Helps spur them on that last 200. I think it's Amy Carrick who's taken over the lead at the Bell Lap from Box Hill. In the blue, though, a little bit of a surprise, but from Athletics Essendon, it looks to be Miller in second place. But Carrick has established a nice little lead, just of a few metres. I don't think Miller will quite be done with yet. Now there's a big surge here from third place. And from fourth, I can't quite get a identification on these athletes. I'd say that's Shania Murray from Diamond Valley making a surge, but it'll be Amy Carrick from Box Hill looking very strong, but there is a challenge. There is a very strong challenge. That's Eliza Lepere from Ballarat. Lepere, this is a very strong finish, and I think she's just taken out Carrick there in the last few metres, and she's fallen on her hands and knees. That's respect right there. That's gutsy running. What do you say, Michael?
That's what we love to see. Our closest finish of the night, Eliza Lepere, just gets the win over Amy Carrick from Box Hill.
You would have thought that was the dash for cash.
Exactly. It would have been leaping over the line for that $100.
See, for a PB.
Exactly.
PB's worth more than $100.
I think that was round PB for a few of those girls in that race. So different people react differently to those conditions tonight. Some thrive on the heat of, what is it, 39.4 degrees, 38.7. That's it, degrees at the moment. And some athletes will find it particularly tough running in this hot weather.
So what's up next for us, Michael? Men's 800F.
So we've got our men's F race, which will be up next. The athlete's just waiting off to the side of the track. Not waiting for an athlete for Canada this time.
Yeah, that helps.
No internationals in this
Those
race.
North Americans.
I do notice Bailey Camillo from Williamstown.
Ben Sims, please. Your race is about to start. Ben Sims, could you please come to the start?
Yeah, Ben Sims has got the hurry up, the athlete from St. Stevens. So the timetable is running exactly to time tonight, even a little bit ahead of time, which is what we enjoy Milers Club for.
Yep, Vic Milers Club know how to do it.
That's it. Distance runners get it right.
Yeah. I think that's another special thing about it, that so many athletes have the Vic Milers Club on their calendar, no matter what the level, you know, from your beginners all the way through to the elite, because it's just always good conditions, good fields, and everyone wants to run well.
Sorry, we have Craig Sanford and Whaley. I guess Ben hasn't turned up. And then at the outside, we have Jack in black.
So we turn our attention to the men's 800 metre F race. In lane 1, Mitchell Mullins. Lane 2, Ian Kaiser. Lane 3, Bailey Camillo. Lane 4, Liam Collar. Lane 5, Joel Woods. Lane 6, Taylor Riggy. Lane 7, Hamish Lazaro. Lane 8, Ben Sims. And lane 9, Craig Sanford. Leading times in this race, 2:03 to a 2:05, so it's pretty tight punched. Pacemaker in all black out the front, heading through the 200 metres.
And
So
Taylor Riggy, the old Melburnians runner, was talking himself up a little bit before. He was looking for someone to put a bet on his run, so I don't know if he found anyone. But he was talking about running about 2:02, so we'll see how that goes.
Is that the same Taylor Riggy who put a bet to buy everyone drinks in that first race?
It is,
Last
so
race?
he did win a slab of beer from his mate last milers, so he was looking for a similar return.
Seems pretty confident in his ability, I love it.
But that threw in about 60 seconds at the front of that race.
I reckon good on our pacemaker, Jack. It's his 3rd or 4th race, I think, now. Good on him.
That's it. We see Bailey Camillo go up on the shoulder of the second place athlete. About 300 metres from the finish. Still Bailey Camillo, the athlete with the fluoro orange runners, with Taylor Riggy not far behind him. The athlete from Athletics Waverley, Craig Sanford, moving to the front, 200 metres to go.
He's made a huge move from the back straight there.
And it's Riggy. Lyndon, you called it. 130 metres to go.
Based on that finish, I'd say he found someone to give him a bit of an incentive for this race, and he's storming home.
That's your mission. Find out what that bet was, what he's running for. It's Taylor Riggy, 5 metres from the front, but the athlete from Yarra Rangers in Mitchell Mullins isn't going to let him get away. Also, Diamond Valley athlete. Oh! I'm not going to call that. Was that the athlete Mitchell Mullins from Yarra Rangers, or was that Riggy in first place? I really could not call that. Maybe you at home have a better idea.
Yeah, I couldn't call that one either. That was close, Michael. Real close.
So you may have picked up on the voice of Linden Hall, who has just joined us in the commentary box. Oh, well, it's not really a box, the commentary balcony, should I say.
Shame it's not a box. We might have aircon then.
Exactly. Corporate box.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We can dream.
So Linden will be with us for the next hour or so, calling the races before she needs to head home off early in the morning to catch a flight to compete at Hunter. Linden.
Sure am. The big 5K, which is a bit scary. I've sort of just realised this week how many laps that actually is.
about to start.
About 12 and a half. Have you worked that out? Yeah.
Yeah, 12 and a half
Yeah, give or
exactly right
take.
here.
Come on, Danny. We're waiting for you.
Next up on the track is the women's 800 metre E race.
Ladies, 800 metres E.
Wearing hip number 1 is Gemma Hall from Athletics Nunawading. Number 2, Brianna Sherry. Number 3, Taylor Radati. 4, Didi Dang from Box Hill Athletic Club. Number 5, Mia Skerry. Number 6, Olivia De Vincentis. Number 7, Amy Canavan. Number 8, Ella Fisher. And rounding out the field in number 9 from Geelong Guild is Olivia Richardson.
And almost every girl in this race has entered with a 2:21 personal best, so it should be a really close race between these girls.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, and that's what's so cool about these races, that just those close, tight fields, and it gets the competitive edge out of everyone.
Definitely, and these girls
On the inside as Hall is starting to move through, so we're curious to
getting that win over each other.
Yeah, a bit of friendly banter, friendly competition, gotta love it.
as the girls sort themselves out.
So taking out the lead, I'd say that's Mia Skerry from Sandringham Athletics. Coming through the 200 in about 32 seconds, so that's a pretty hot pace at the moment.
Yeah, pretty hot like the weather, really.
Yeah.
That was a terrible joke.
No, I love it, love it. So coming up on 300, that's Mia Skerry, who has still got the lead, followed by our Box Hill Athletics athlete in Didi Dang.
Yeah, and I've heard from her coach she is a very talented athlete and just got a lot of work to do, I guess, to learn a bit more about racing.
Yeah, she's got that long loping David Rhodesia stride, so
looking
let's
very
see
relaxed.
how that serves her. Over to you for this last lap, Lyndon.
Yeah, so they've gone through in just under that 2:10 pace, which if they can hold on will be around PBs for these girls, which is exciting to see. But it's still our same two girls leading.
So I know with Mia Skerry, she's a great multi-event athlete. So she is, the last 3 years, she's achieved a Victorian best performance for Lille Athletics. And we'll be hoping to go for a 4th in Australia Day weekend.
Yeah, good on her.
So being a multi-event, you'd expect a lot of strength over this last 200, you would think. But I can't quite tell who that athlete who has taken over the lead in those bright socks. Brianna Sherry of Casey Cardinia, but she's been trailed by Didi Dang of Box Hill still. So they're going to come into the straight with a bit of a tight bunch. Who's got 3 right there who are going to come down together. It might be as close as this last one, but it looks like Sherry might hold on from Didi Dang.
Ooh, what a finish.
And looks like right on their PBs there.
Yeah,
We
about
might have to wait for the
2:21,
official
2:22,
times.
I think.
She's pretty solid running in this heat, I would say.
Yeah, it must have been those socks, though. What do you reckon, Michael?
Definitely.
Lyndon?
It's a real trend
Gave
with
her
the
the
young
edge.
athletes at the moment.
And she's got the speed shades on. They always help.
Yeah, it'd be great out there. You see a little bit of shade on the finishing straight. That back straight looks a little bit dismal at the moment.
Yeah. And as you wouldn't expect, it's actually very still here tonight. I was training here just before and I actually missed the wind. Usually you get some kind of gale force wind here, and tonight it probably wouldn't have been too bad.
Yeah. Gee, no cool breeze for him. That's harsh.
Reckon it might give a bit of a relief.
Yeah, maybe come through for some later races.
That's what I'm excited about. It is hot now, but I reckon the conditions for later tonight, I reckon they'll be good. I reckon we can see some fast times in those 8s, those 15s. Maybe some World Junior qualifiers. That'd be nice.
Definitely. I know there's a few eyeing those off.
Yeah, I reckon in the 800, in the men's, there's a couple. I know Archie's pretty close to one. 150 is what they need to get. So yeah, Archie Wallace from Old Scotch. He's entered in at 149. If he can run that, that'll get him a World Juniors qualifier. So that'd be pretty exciting.
Definitely. But as we work towards that A division race, we've got the men's 800 metre E section lining up. And they're just sort of getting into their lanes. So we'll go through our starters. In lane 1, Zach Hunter. Lane 2, Samson Malata. Lane 3, James Rort. Lane 4, Harrison White. Lane 5, Ned Buxton. Lane 6, Steve Deneen. Lane 7, Nathan Crowley. Lane 8, Connor Ogilvie. And lane 9, Jack Popplestow. So Steve Deneen seems to cover any distance under the sun. I've seen him line up in marathons, 800s here, so see how he goes.
Yeah, very strong runner. I actually was in the same race as him at Nunawading on Shield on the weekend in the 800, so might be a bit of a trend for him, doing some short stuff ahead of the
yeah, probably
AB.
feel like 100 metres.
Exactly. So of course have a pacemaker in all black in this race. I think the same one as a couple of races ago. They're looking for times around 2:01.
So they've gone through the first 200 in under 30 seconds, and they're sort of starting to string out pretty single file. So the pace is obviously on, and these guys are getting stretched early on.
So it's James Rout from Athletics Essendon right on the shoulder of the pacemaker, just itching, waiting to pass him. Samson Malatua, not far behind either. And the athlete from South Bendigo, I believe, moving up to the lead as he goes through that first lap in about a minute, just sub 1 minute. So right on track for that 2:01 pace. Ned Buxton from Frankston, right on Jack Popplestone's shoulder.
And he looks like he's getting ready to go for Harston, just as we say that. He flies past.
So big run from Ned Buxton, about 5 metres in the lead. He'll take 10 metres as he passes the 200 metre mark in a time of 1:28, so he's heading for under that 2 minute time. We also see the athlete from Williamstown Athletic in Nathan Crowley making a charge towards the finish. 130 metres out. Don't discount Nathan Crowley from Williamstown. It does look like it's all Ned Buxton though. 80 metres to go, still clearing about 15 metre lead from the Williamstown athlete. Can he break the 2 minute mark? Is that 1:54, 1:55? It's going to be close. 1:58, 1:59, sub 2 minutes from Ned Buxton from Frankston. Not too far behind Ned Crowley from Williamstown, also collecting a PB. Steve Deneen right up there as well. As we mentioned, can do any distance he wants. Doesn't matter, he'll do well.
Yeah, huge finish from Steve Deneen, that last 100.
Yeah, he must have thought it was going to go for a bit longer and was like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
That's kind of like me running a 400.
That's he probably just ran his 200 metre PB 4 times just then.
Yeah, good on him.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, but big move from our race winner there. He went very early, really backed himself, but held on.
Yeah, great to see that kind of gutsy running, and he was rewarded for it, which is also good to see. So sub 2 from 1 or 2 of them, I think, in that one.
That's it. Only 15 and 16 years old, Ned Buxton as well. So good to see us from your young athletes. As he just gulps down a Powerade at the finish line. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Sugar and electrolytes back in you.
So next up, the women's 800 metre D race. So getting closer and closer to those A's.
That's it. Temperature drops bit by bit. Where are we at now? We're at
Yeah, if we dropped a little bit, let's see.
38.0 degrees.
That's another 0.7 we've dropped.
That's it.
1.4 degrees in the past hour. So in this race, in hip number 1 is Amy Bunnage, number 2 Sally Holzhoder, number 3 Lexi Alfieri, number 4 Sophie Bolmat, 5 Cassidy Bradshaw, number 6 Carla Dreyer, number 7 Kiara Flavel, number 8 Alyssa Ramsdale. 2:18.5 is the quickest seed time in this, and our slowest 2:20. So 2.4 seconds, that separates the field. This should be yet another exciting race.
Yeah, and Alyssa Ramsdale out in lane 8. I know her a little bit, and she's after a junior national qualifier that she just missed at the last Milers. So she's looking to break 2:20 for the first time. Should be exciting for her first trip to nationals.
Beautiful. Well, let's cheer her on to that. That'd be great to see a national qualifier for young Alyssa from Doncaster. 2:20, you said the time was, Linda?
That's what she's looking for. So a couple of quicker girls in this race, so that should be good for her. Looking pretty close as they're off the line.
A couple of young guns in this race. We have Kiara Flavel from Yarra Rangers, who has a couple of little athletics Victorian records, and I believe an Australian record as well to her name. So a young gun to watch there from Yarra
12
Rangers.
years old, is it?
That's it. Very young, but very, very talented.
2:20, boasting a very impressive PB for that age. Now coming up on 300, let's see if we can get an ID on our race leader. Looks to be from Box Hill, Carla Dreyer, I suspect. So it will be Carla Dreyer, trailed by Kiara Flavel.
And they go through at about 67, which is definitely on track for some quick times for these girls. So hopefully it continues into this second half of the race.
Yeah, and right on that 2:20 pace you mentioned before, Lyndon. That'll be great to see young Alyssa with that national qualifier.
Yeah, that'll be very exciting. And I'm sure there's some other girls in here after similar goals. A little bit of bias, but Cassidy Bradshaw in there does train with my squad, and I've down in Geelong, but I have heard good things, so she'll be looking for a good run, I'm sure.
Nah, it's good. A little bit of bias is all right, as long as it's good bias.
But they have really strung out as they come in with 200 to go. And is that our Sandringham athlete, I think, at the front in Sophie Bolmat? But doesn't look like she's going to have it all her own way. We've got some big finish coming from our Yarra Rangers athlete.
That was a young gun you were talking about, wasn't it, Michael?
She is, and she's showing why she's got an Australian record to her name. She's flying at the end here. Definitely not afraid racing these bigger girls. And Lexi Alfieri from Western A's comes through in second.
Beautiful running. I think that was 2:17, 2:18, so 2-second PB for the young gun, Michael.
Just knocks those times down and down.
Yeah, that's great running. There goes my drink bottle.
So, getting up the pointy end of the 800 metre timetable. Soon we'll be joined by Georgie Buckley, who will be doing interviews down the track for some of our...
She has just returned from hair and makeup and looking camera ready.
Yeah, looking lovely, Georgie.
Please direct all compliments to the live stream Facebook feed.
So next up, men's D. Cameron Simon from Diamond Valley in lane 1. Lane 2, William Carter from Mentone. Lane 3, Samuel Clifford, Western Athletics. Lane 4, Spencer Anderson from Box Hill. Lane 5, Geordie Hoare from Mentone. Lane 6, Angus Donnelly from Old Melburnians. Lane 7, Michael Priest from an invitation athlete. Lane 8, Callum Day, St Kevin's. Lane 9, Christopher Downey, Western Athletics. And we have the pacemaker on the end there. If that's the same pacemaker, I reckon he's up to his 4th or 5th race already. That's
Yeah, what a
pretty
legend.
good effort.
And away. Off to a good start is Downey on the outside. Running very, very hard.
I'm seeing a lot of 2 flats, 2 1s on these seat times here, so it'd be great to see a bunch of them under 2 minutes. What do you reckon?
Hopefully that all-important 2-minute barrier is what a few of them will be chasing. And a couple will be just looking to improve their PBs up from 158, which Geordie Hoare has. So it is Geordie Hoare who is following the pacemaker the most closely, followed by the rest of the pack. Callum Day from St Kevin's up there as well. Angus Donnelly, Old Melburnians, sitting in 3rd place.
Looks like could be Callum Day from St Kevin's. So coming down here is Jack now still leading. Carter running through very, very strong.
So that first lap going through in 56 seconds, heading well for under a PB of 158 there. The rest all under a minute.
Yeah.
Everyone capable of sub 2 minute run today.
And Will Carter, our athlete out the front, he's one of those with a PB right on that 2 minute mark. So he looks like he's on a mission to break that for the first time, or according to this season. But he's really running away with it down the back straight.
There's another big gap then, looks like Geordie Hoare. And then the group of runners there.
Yeah, this is great running. The yellow and black, Michael.
That's it.
Little
Not
bit
from Richmond,
Richmond-esque.
but it is the yellow and black, James. Keep reminding us you won the premiership last year. Good on
It
you.
does look a little bit like the premiership jersey, the yellow with the black.
It was. I'm glad you pointed that out, Lyndon. It is the clash jersey of the Richmond Tigers.
So what do you reckon, Geordie Hoare, the Dusty Martin of the men's D race here?
Yeah,
100 metres to go.
Now, the Conor Menageau, he won the sprint that day.
That's it. Used to coach Coleman Linden Hall. Thanks for mentioning that.
What?
So Geordie Hoare, 10 metre lead. 56, 57 will be nudging a PB, followed by Priest, the invitation athlete. Also up there, Angus Donnelly from Old Melburnians and Samuel Clifford, Western Athletics. Strong runs from the boys in that men's D race.
And I just realised I mixed up the 2 Minturn athletes. Apologies. I will blame the weather and being dehydrated from training.
Feeling a bit lightheaded, are you, Lyndon?
That's my
Yeah.
excuse anyway.
Get us a Gatorade. What's up next, Michael?
Jeez, we've got the
I
women.
can see a little bit of my homework now.
That's it. Talk us through a few of your notes there, James, for the women's C race. You've been working so hard today.
Yeah, have been. No, so we got Mia White. So she won the silver medal at Nationals in the 2,000 metre steeplechase, my favourite event. We have Jessica Welford. She was 3rd in the 400 and the 800 at the recent AV All Schools. So Amy Atkinson in the second Vic Milers, sorry. She was the winner of this heat, so maybe she can back that up. Don't know. Lily Peacock, so she was 7th in the 1500 at under 17 nationals and 2nd at the recent AV All Schools for the 800. And then in number 8, Natalia Vanzo has been promoted from Heat D from the first Vic Milers Club, which she won. So she's into Heat C now, so let's see what she can do here. So our other athletes in this, wearing hip number 3, we have Rebecca Reveal from Tasmania, making the trip up. Good on her. Number 6 is Rachel O'Brien from Wellington. Number 7 is Isabel Girardi from Deakin Athletic Club.
That's it. Tasmanian athlete there, so
Yeah.
bit of an interstate flavour. I know we had heaps and heaps of interstaters, even a couple of international athletes come from Milers Club meet too, so it is good. Already we've seen athletes. Tasmania as well.
And there's some more Tassie athletes too, actually. I've had a look through the start lists and a few Queenslanders as well.
Yeah, as we get up to the higher level races, a lot of those athletes that are chasing qualifying standards are willing to travel.
And these are the meets to do it at. You know, those close fields, good friendly competition. You know, doesn't get too much better than this. Could be a little cooler, but the sun is going down. the shade's coming. And I think we can expect some more fast times.
Hot track's a fast track.
Exactly.
That's it,
Exactly.
positivity.
So it looks like we're actually just a little bit ahead of schedule, which might be why they're just holding off a little bit on getting the girls out, just letting them hide in the shade for a few more minutes.
That's it, letting the officials have a bit of a drink and sit down as well.
Yeah, I think it can be easy to forget that how much work the officials actually put in, being out there in the heat. You know, good on them, and you know, it allows us to have these meets, allows them to run smoothly. So thank you to any of our officials that are listening or watching.
That's it.
Thanks for your help.
That's it. Plenty of volunteer involvement goes into putting these meets together. So definitely appreciate all that.
800 metres C race. Lane 1.
Last time in a storm, this time in a heat wave. Maybe next time it'll be just perfect. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah.
That'd be great because I'm actually racing the next one.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
Bit selfish.
So what else have you got coming up, Linda? You've got Hunter 5K. You've got the next, are you doing the mile at Melbourne Uni next?
Going to do an 800. A little
interesting.
sharpen up before Nationals.
That's it.
Yeah, no, 1500 over in Canberra in between.
Yep, so a few to watch out for. Linden Hall coming up.
Yeah, it's exciting to get racing. It's been a big training block, so keen to get into a racing block. Much more fun.
Yeah, beautiful. Did you spend any time up at Falls? Did you?
Not this year, actually, which is a bit different. But yeah, short season, Nationals just being that bit earlier, decided not to.
Yeah,
More
fair
time
enough.
on the track.
Pretty
I also
much.
decided not to. Went
Due
down
to
the
injury
beach at
though,
Lorne.
forced circumstances.
Yeah, fractured elbows don't help.
But we're off in our women's C race. Enough about me.
Great start there by Welford. And she's going to drag...
We've got lane 1, Mia White. Lane 2, Jessica Welford. Lane 3, Rebecca Reville. Lane 4, Amy Atkinson, Lily Peacock, Rachel O'Brien, Isabel Girardi, and then Natalia Vanzo. All tightly bunched. Only 3 seconds between the 2:15 seed time of Amy Atkinson and the 2:18 seed times of Natalia Vanzo and Mia White as they pass through 200 metres, Lyndon.
Middle of the pack, keeping an eye on the early leaders.
It is very closely bunched, that first sort of 200-300.
Does look like Lily Peacock is making her way into the lead on the outside shoulder of Amy Atkinson from Box Hill. Natalia Vanzo not too far behind either. And Jess Welford just tucked in there on the inside. So it'll be Atkinson probably in the best position coming into the first lap.
And certainly looking pretty comfortable there on the rail. And they're through in about 66 at the front.
Hopefully doing a bit of work in the heat doesn't bother her too much. Lily Peacock running a little bit of extra distance up on her shoulder on the bend. Hopefully she can move just in front of Atkinson on the straight. That'd be a very smart tactical move. See if she has the legs for it.
Yeah, Atkinson doesn't want to give up that spot on the rail, but it looks like a couple of runners will go around her on the outside. We have a new leader.
So Vanzo. It is Vanzo. Vanzo, 150 metres to go with Peacock not leaning to get away with it yet. Amy Atkinson about 10 metres behind, followed by Jess Welford. So it is Vanzo passing that steeplechase, 100 metres to go.
Yeah.
Lily Peacock won't let her get away with it easy.
And Natalia has been at Falls Creek, unlike me, so she's probably got some good training up there and feeling ready to go.
But maybe heavy legs as we see Lily Peacock 4, 5, 6 metres with the win. 2:15 for Lily Peacock, followed by Natalia Vanzo, Amy Atkinson, Jess Welford in 4th. And to round out the field, that was Rachel O'Brien from Wellington Athletics.
I've got quite a few girls who've hit the deck after that one, so the heat is definitely hitting them.
Yep, still 38 degrees out there, maybe even a bit hotter on the track. Feel sorry for those tennis players today playing on those show courts for multiple hours.
Yeah, I did see a few casualties that you might have expected to get through who probably didn't handle the heat quite as well.
You don't feel too sorry for them regarding the paycheck.
Yeah.
I think they're well compensated
Oh,
for
mate.
their
There was
difficulties.
$100 in that dash of cash before, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And as we've moved into the higher division races, we will get Georgie down on the track with our race winners. So we'll cross to her with our winner, Lily Peacock, in just a second. But hopefully just giving Lily a little bit more chance to recover from that big race.
So would like to make a special comment with that athlete coming in second. Actually, my brother's formal date.
Oh, there you go. Special comments from the commentary team. Irrelevant, but special.
So,
Over you.
So Georgie has found our winner, Lily Peacock.
So we're down here with Lily Peacock from Yarra Rangers, who's the winner of the women's C race. She finished really strong in the last 150 and we're really hoping for a PB. How did you feel during that?
Yeah, it was good. It was one of the best runs of the season, so that's always good. So, yeah.
So you went through in 66 seconds for the first lap. What were your tactics going into it?
I hoped for a little bit quicker first lap, then just hold on, but that's okay. I was happy with a strong second lap, so it's all good.
And when's your next race?
Well, my big race is Vic Juniors, then March Nationals, so leading up to that, yeah.
Great. Well, all the best with the rest of the season and back to you guys.
Thank you.
Lily on a great race, and hopefully that PB does come through. And we've got our men's C division lining up and getting in their lanes.
Next event on the track is the men's 800 metres C race. In lane 1, Charlie Langdon.
So we'll go through our starters. We have Charlie Langdon. Lane 2, Jason Clayton. Lane 3, Limon Holleran. Lane 4, Jacob Reed. Lane 5, Joel Donner. Lane 6, Henry Killerup. Lane 7, Jared Woods. Lane 8, Jack Stumper. Lane 9, Jack Marquette. And all our athletes in this one do have personal bests under that 2-minute barrier. So we are watching the races get quicker and quicker tonight here at Milers Club.
Certainly heating up on the track, so to speak.
Yeah, well said, Michael. Well said.
And around this men's C, 800 metres. The pace is beginning up on each of the laps. Running strongly on the inside. We have Langdon and Clayton trying to get themselves into inside positions here.
So looks like 2 of our 3 Glenn Huntley athletes going to the front, or maybe not. Looks like they're not quite going to have it their own way. Is that Charlie Langdon, the Melbourne Uni athlete who's gone to the front? Not Melbourne Uni, Old Melburnians. Oh, sorry, I'm really out of this. Actually, that is a Deakin uniforms, so that is Jacob Reed, who has gone to the front and will do the early running. They're being stalked closely by the rest of the field, with everyone really still there as they come down to the front straight to get the bell in this B Division 800 metres.
Yeah, so Jacob Reed, relatively experienced in these Vic Milers races. He was in the A800 in the first round of Vic Milers. So he's in a pretty good position at the moment, our Deakin athlete in Jacob Reed. But sitting right on him from Athletics Nunawading is Joel Donner.
With those two getting a little bit of a break on the rest of the field, but the last 200, a lot can change in the 800, can't it?
Yeah, and we've got a young athlete with some nice long flowing locks from Box Hill who's looking very strong. That would be Jack Stummer. He was 5th in this 800 in the first Vic Milers.
But Jacob Reed looks like he might hold on for this, but we have a fast fishing Diamond Valley athlete on the outside. So that would be Jared Woods. So these two, it's going to come down close. But it looks like Jacob Reed is just going to hold on for the win, about 157.
Yeah, good gutsy running from Reed there. He really took it from the start. He was rewarded with the win. Did it in the heat too. So what have we got up next here, Michael?
So women's B race will be next.
But before that, I think Georgie is going to grab our winner, Jacob Reed, for a quick chat. We'll just give him a minute to catch his breath.
Yeah, we'll give him a little bit extra time, seeing that it's pretty hot out there.
And he just ran a 800 metre PB.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jacob Reed. Jacob Reed.
So we're starting to get a little bit of shade there now on the back straight. That's good to see. A little light breeze. Maybe not so bad. Give us a bomb update, Michael.
Bureau of Meteorology update.
Yeah.
So still at 38.0.
Okay. Did you refresh it?
I did.
Good.
It's going to need to drop another 0.8 to meet my prediction for the men's A race.
Yeah. I did say 34. I think that was a little
That was
optimistic.
ambitious.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that's still a temperature drop.
Yeah.
It was 40.
Yeah.
Looking for the positives.
And here's Georgie.
We're going to cross down to Georgie. Georgie, you've got our winner down there. Tell us, who have you got?
So I'm down here with the men's winner of the C 800 metres, Jake Reed from Deakin Athletics. He's gone through in about 57 seconds and come home really strong as that front runner. How did that go for you, Jake?
I was probably about a second off where I wanted to be, but I thought, yeah, the whips have got a crack, so I really tried to kick home and, yeah, almost try an even split, but just wasn't quite there.
So you mentioned before that it was the season's best. What's planned for the rest of the season from here?
Heading up to Canberra with a couple of other guys for their state titles, and then hopefully go there and try and run a national qualifier and then head up to the Gold Coast.
Well, all the best with the rest of the season, and back to you guys for the women's B race.
Thank you.
No worries, thank you. Well done.
Are we on?
Love the mustache on him there. Jake Reed. A little bit
So in the meantime, our women's B race have got off the line. So we'll quickly go through our athletes. Ellie Sanford, Holly Hart, Gigi McGarney, Erin Rayner, Nicole Perry, Kayla DeBont, Lucinda Buckley, Lucy Letchford, and Jessica Morney. So this is a pretty good quality B race. A lot of these girls do normally get a run in the A. So that just tells you how good the next race is going to be as well. So great to see that depth for the girls running.
Certainly some big names in this race. Athletes who made their way through Little Athletics and state teams and national championships in the past can recognise a lot of those names there as they move through. Coming up to the first lap, very tightly bunched pack.
Yeah, so this is Nicole Perry, the Tasmanian athlete, on the inside, and I believe she won the B race at the last Milers Club. So good to see her back for another one. And then Kayla DeBont right behind her.
So we'll have negative split if they want PBs, a lot of them, moving through in about a 66-second first lap.
And they are starting to spread out, so the girls would have seen the clock at that split and realised they needed to get moving if they wanted to run some PBs.
Yeah, it looked like
But it's
Kayla
still
really
Nicole
kind of
Perry
stepped
out
up the
the
pace
front.
a little bit there. It's good on her.
Studying and running extremely well, so he's really
So it does look like the uniform of St Kevin's. Kayla DeBont moving towards the front of the pack. Gigi McInerney not too far behind, moving up on the shoulder of Kayla with 130 odd metres to go.
Kayla, typically more of a 1500 runner, so she may have some good strength in this last 100.
Yeah, Gigi being the 4.8 runner as well. Got a bit of speed, but Kayla proving her strength. You're right, Lyndon. Bridging that gap of 2 or 3 metres, and she will be the strongest right to the finish line, 209, 210. So Kayla DeBont, followed by Jeannie McInerney from South Melbourne, and the athlete from Box Hill, it was Ali Sanford in third place. And each girl has their hands on their knees, bent over. Very, very tired after that women's B 800 metre race.
Yeah, I reckon Kayla might have heard you there, Lyndon. She called it. She said that 800, 1500 strength, and she kind of pulled away with.
Couldn't let you down.
Yeah.
She's not long back from a stint in US college as well, not like yourself.
Yes. She was in Texas
So, you
for
know,
a
you
little
do
while
learn a
too.
bit about racing there. So I'm sure that helped her. Some good experience.
Yeah, got to end up by the beach too. California, that'd be nice.
That's it.
Were you near the beach, Linden? Yeah.
Despite being in Florida for 4 years, we were not on Miami Beach. So many people are like, oh, Florida, do you go to Miami Beach every weekend? No, it's 8-hour drive away. I've been there once.
Yeah. How fast? Because Tallahassee, right?
Yep, Tallahassee.
How far is that from the beach?
Oh, about 30 minutes.
Oh, it's not
30,
too bad.
40.
Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, which is about 40 degrees warm in the summer, so it's not that refreshing.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
So don't take them home. Would you please bring the pins back? We really need pins.
So next up, 800.
Yeah, men's
After
B will be
Georgie
up
gives us
next. Georgie
a
will
little
give us an
interview.
interview with Kayla very shortly.
Does appear she has found our winner. Our bird's eye view.
Next event on the track is event 20, men's 800 metres. Ready stays in this race is what from New South Wales in lane 1, Jesse Maxwell, and in lane 2, Luke Young. In lane 3, we have Felix Lonigan, South Melbourne.
We're going to go to Georgie now. Georgie, who have you got there for us?
So I'm down here with Kayla DeBond from St. Kevin's, who's just taken out a very talented women's B 800 metres. What were you thinking with that going into such a talented field, Kayla, and how did you plan your race around that?
It was hot, so was hoping it would go out quick, which the girls did take it out quick. Yeah, it's just really kind of a rust buster for me. Like, haven't done much speed work, and the girls, a lot of them are quite good over 400, so I was just going to see how it was, and it was a good race, yeah.
So you've come back from the US. Who are you training with at the moment, and what's planned for the rest of the season?
That's a good question. I'm actually getting coached by a correspondent of, I think my coach is watching, so hi Eddie. He's in the Netherlands, so getting coached by a correspondent with him, and I have a few people at St. Kevin's helping me out, and also some of my work colleagues that jump in some sessions here and there. But yeah, and then the rest of the plan is Nationals is really soon, so running Nationals and then see where that takes me, maybe head over to Europe again. Yeah.
Very good. Well, all the best with it. And back to you guys for the men's B race.
Thanks. Sorry.
So we join the action 300 metres into the men's B race with Felix Lonigan from South Melbourne leading the pack of 6 interstate athletes. Only 3 Victorians, but it is Felix Lonigan, the Victorian, leading the way. 55-second first lap. He is a higher seed rated racer tonight at 1:53 is the time he is chasing.
Yeah, certainly plenty of bright colours out there. Kind of makes it a little hard for us.
Exactly, if
Can't
only
identify
the bright
clubs.
colour could correspond to a state.
But at least South Melbourne's hanging on. It's Felix Lonigan.
So it's the New South Wales athletes in Jesse Maxwell and Luke Young trailing Lonigan, but Lonigan still does hold the lead. 130 metres to go.
Using that home track advantage, being a South Melbourne athlete, I'm sure he does many laps of this. But looking to hang on here.
And here's Luke Young from New South Wales up on the shoulder of Felix Lonigan. Is it Lonigan? No, it's Luke Young from New South Wales taking the win in 1:52 in a PB. Felix Lonigan not too far behind, and a flood of other interstate athletes to follow. So great run there. Luke Young, I'm pretty sure, dipped under that 1:53, so about a 2-second PB there.
That's very good, and honestly, not too much of a surprise. He is the national champion for the 1500 under 17. So
there you go. A few quality athletes in that race. A number of athletes who have raced at national championships before, taking the whole day period to take a trip down to Melbourne and get a couple of good races in.
Yeah, good on him. And I mean, that's just the B heat too. So again, that's attributed to the depth here tonight. So next up will be our women's A. Here we go.
And again, like last time, probably a race I could talk about for ages, but probably because I do train with half the girls, so got plenty of inside scoop on them. But that may lead to some biased commentary, so apologies in advance.
I was going to say, yeah, pull out the special facts.
Who's looking good in the women's A race, Lyndon? Well, Georgie's just waiting to get our winner of the men's B.
Yeah, well, Abby Delamotte is fresh off a win over in Perth last weekend over a very talented Keely Small, and it was a notable win. So she'll be riding high on confidence after that, I'm sure. And she had a great session on Tuesday. She was pretty happy about that.
So it was a 2:04 she ran over in Perth?
Yeah, it was, and she's been running sort of around that 2:03, 2:04 mark consistently this year. But I think Georgie has got our winner of the men's B, so we'll cross down to her momentarily, and then we'll come back for this hot 800 metres.
Yes, thanks, Georgie. Who have you got there for us down there? You got a winner, I hear.
So I'm down here with Luke Young, who's from New South Wales. Unofficially, he's run about 1:52, we're hoping. Put down about 1:54 as his PB. What's brought you down to New South Wales besides obviously great competition?
I was in Falls Creek before this came down Tuesday, and then just decided this was a good event, so decided to run it.
So who are you training with at the moment up at New South Wales?
My coach is Jason Maxwell, yeah.
And what's planned for the rest of the season?
There's junior champs up in New South Wales, and then there's not much after that, I don't think, but I'll give a few more races, hopefully.
Very good. Well, a very quality run from you tonight, and all the best for the rest of the season. Back to you guys for the women's A 800.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
So we have this hot women's A 800 metres lining up. So quickly go through our starters. Lane 1, Zoe Britu Batapule. Lane 2, Catherine Katznavakis. Lane 3, Ellen Schaaf. Lane 4, Georgia Griffith. Lane 5, Abby Delamotte. Lane 6, Katrina Anderson. Lane 7, Sarah Billings. And Lane 8, Heidi Demio. So Georgia Griffiths has been showing some great form, winning the last Milers Club as well as the 800 down at the Steigen Spectacular before Christmas. And she's just come off a big stint at Falls Creek, so she'll be feeling pretty fit, and she has gone right to the front. And Abby Delamotte, the other athlete we were talking about, has just tailed right behind her. And then it looks like our pacemaker is finally getting in front of Georgia, and hopefully we'll carry them round for the next chunk of the race. But Georgia and Abby look to have a bit of a gap back to the next athlete, which is Kath Katznavakis, who is a former Commonwealth Games athlete who we've not seen on our tracks quite as much just recently. So great to see her back at the Milers Club races. And then we're followed by a trio of Melbourne Uni athletes, but Abby is right on Georgia's shoulder and they're right on their pacemaker. And looking to go through just under a minute. So these two are really going to push each other over this next lap.
So very well set up, 59 seconds through that first lap, which gives them about 63 to head through in that second to get a B qualifier, a little bit quicker to get that A of 2:01. So it is Georgia Griffith, going 300 metres to go, bridge the gap of a few metres to Abby Delamotte. I don't think she's done yet though. Abby has a lot of strength, Lyndon.
I've definitely seen Abby finish very fast before, but those long legs of Georgia Griffiths are really striding out, and you know, she moved up, ran a bit more in the 1500 last year, so probably a little bit stronger. I've seen her in the gym a bit, so I can vouch for that strength. So she'll be looking to really bring this home this last 100 and hoping to run a bit quicker than she did before Christmas.
129 through 600. This will be a very, very fast finish from Georgia Griffiths. Let's watch the clock.
But this is looking to be a very, very impressive run. Whew. And she's 2:01. And Abby's going to come at 2:02 with Katrina Anderson. Also a very impressive run, followed by Sarah Billings.
I'd love to see the time on that. I would have even put her at a 2 flat maybe. We'll wait for the official results of that women's A race, but very, very hot. As you said, Lyndon, earlier. Fast, hot track, fast race. And that's proven in the women's race tonight.
Definitely some very impressive racing. And Georgia ran 2 flat 0.9 last year, so you know, well within her capabilities to run something like that. And she'll be looking to get closer to that form as we edge towards trials and then hopefully the Commonwealth Games.
Were any of these athletes in that race chasing a world qualifier?
Yeah, so the world junior time was 2:06.8. We had a couple of juniors who were close to that, but don't think they quite got there today.
Just missed out.
A couple of seconds off, yeah. But I think right on their PB, so there's still time. And
that's it, couple more Vic Milers 800 races to go this season.
Yeah. So we have come with an official 2:01 point something for Georgia. So that's very impressive running to see. And they had some help from a pace, which was great to really pull them through. But, you know, she was really working hard. You saw those last 50 metres. She was really gritting her teeth to get it done.
Absolutely.
That's a B standard. Com Games, right? Pretty short.
That is, adds to her collection.
And another step forward for Abby Delmont as well. Great race from her.
Yeah, haven't got an official time for her just yet. But shortly we will cross down to Georgie with Georgia just before our men's A race.
Yep, no worries. We'll go to the men's race and then go back to finish on the ground.
So no surprise after that huge run, Georgia is not quite ready for... Come back and find her later. Let her gather her thoughts.
Yeah, so it should be a pretty hot race, this one. I'd love to see the young Archie Wallace get the World Junior time of 150. As well as Darcy Pounds, not too far off, just a few seconds he needs to cut down. But anyway, in this field, in hip number 1, we'll have Daniel Reeves. Number 2, Mark Richards. Number 3, Sam Russell. 4, Archie Wallace. Number 5, Mitch Thompson. Avid Richmond fan, good on him. 6, Tom Sullivan. 7, Jake Stevens. 8, Darcy Pound.
So Mitch be the Dusty Martin of the men's A race, James.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that'll go to his head.
Did see him grand final night, actually. He was pretty happy with himself.
Lad, was he?
Yep, as was myself.
And so for Jake Stevens, 37.0 is the current temperature of this race now as we get underway.
And the race is good.
So Archie Wallace moving his way toward the lead.
Looking for that World Junior time, no doubt.
Yeah, looks like Archie will tuck in quite nicely there, just sitting in second out of the mess, but not having to work too hard.
That's it, the Knox athlete in Mark Richards, not too far behind. And could that be Daniel Reeves from Tasmania, rounding out the pack there?
But Archie is right on the pacer here, and he's going to be all out in his own when he pulls off, but he's going to be set up for something quick.
That's it. Archie is usually a sit and kick athlete, but he's going for something special tonight by the looks of it. 52 seconds from that first lap. Well under pace for that World Junior qualifier. It's all Archie Wallace as we move towards the discus cage at 300 metres to go. Mark Richards not too far behind.
And we did see a big finish from Mitch Thompson at the last Milers Club meet, so he's a bit back, but don't rule him out just yet. But Archie is well out in the front in his own, so as he comes up with 200 to go, about 120.
Yeah, Archie's looking great,
Hopefully
but Mark
he can
Richards...
hold on. He's looking good.
So Mark Richards bridging that gap slowly. The athlete from South Australia and Sam Russell coming up as well in the fluoro shoes, not too far behind Mark Richards as he gets up on Archie Wallace's shoulder. 100 metres to go. Can Archie still get that world qualifying standard? His legs are tiring. Mark Richards moving towards the finish. Mitch Thompson finishing strongly as well. Can he get second place? Mitch. Mark Richards. So it could be Mark Richards there in first place. Mitch Thompson, a very, very strong finish. In second place, the athlete Sam Russell from South Australia in third. Strong run, gutsy run from Archie Wallace from Scotch, finishing in fourth place, just outside that World Junior qualifying time.
Yeah, Mitch Thompson looking a bit like a Dusty Martin through the centre corridor, that last 100. What do you think?
He has an amazing couple of races at Milers Club, the last two. Can he win the Victorian Mile Champs next time, maybe?
Yeah, certainly in great form and looking really strong. But yeah, Mark Richards, that was a really great run. Looking strong on that back straight.
And we should mention very solid effort from our commentator earlier this morning, today, from Jake Stevens from Mornington.
Busy evening for him then.
Yeah, Archie Wallace looking strong for a lot of that race. It would have been great to see him hold on. I think there's still plenty in him under the wonderful guidance of Sean Whipp. So he's in good hands. And
that's it. Shout out Sean Whipp if you're watching.
Knock on that World Junior time.
I'm sure he's definitely capable of it. Just needs the right race on the right night.
Yeah, definitely did a lot of work running it that way, but gave it a hot crack.
So that's it for the 800s. 1500 time.
So we've got Georgie down there with our winner of the men's A 800 metre.
Don't hold me to that.
So we're down here with the winner of the men's A race, Mark Richards from Knox. He's just won unofficially in 1:49. They went through the first lap in about 53 seconds paced. What were your tactics going into the race?
I wanted to hit about 350, 53 seconds high coming through, and then just see if I could wind up and finish strong, and just held off a late charge from a few guys, but I was quite happy.
Absolutely. So your last 150 was looking really strong. Have you been doing any speed work or anything specific to be able to hold up such talented guys?
I've raced recently at AV Shield last Saturday, and a couple of speed sessions coming back off falls, so there's been a couple, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks hit really hard and see if we can bring that down a bit more.
So who are you training with at the moment, or who do you want to have a bit of a shout out to for your win?
I've been training a lot with my training partner Harry Killerup and Alistair Christie, who I train with regularly, and then a few of the Box Hill guys that I get around with up at Falls. And I guess just in general, like the Falls informal group has been really great to train with over the, so it's quite
A win at the moment with the way that Milers is going is a very talented thing, so congratulations and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.
Back to you guys.
We on? Thanks, Georgie. So we have got some more official results popping up for that 800. So both Mark Richards and Mitch Thompson and Sam Russell in third have all run about 150. So really close to that 150 barrier, which I'm sure will be on their mind in the next race. But that's very close to a PB for Mitch, I know, but I'm not sure about some of the other guys. You got any insights for me?
Yeah, we've got some of the season's best down here. So we had a few 149. So Mitch Thompson, 149.8. Archie Wallace was entered at 149 flat, and Sam Russell, 149.9. So all very close to their PBs there, which is great to see.
Yeah, great place to be in January, really.
Yeah, exactly. It is a long season, and there's plenty of races. So, if you can be getting ready to hit your strides now, and that's what you want.
Yeah, and we did also have some official times pop up for the girls' race as well. So Georgia was that 2:01, and Abby was a 2:02.4, which is really close to her personal best as well of 2:02.18, I think, or 19. It's really close to mine. That's why I know it.
Okay, wonderful.
So yeah, really great to see for her as well. Fresh off a trip to Perth and a race just 5 days ago as well.
Yeah, it's great to see. So she's entered at 2:04.2 for her season's best. So season's best for her, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All heading in the right direction as we creep closer to those trials. But that's it for our 800s. So we'll shift our attention to the back straight to get these 1500s going,
Yeah, 1500s
and
to
switching
go.
it up back to the original Milers Club format of starting with our lower divisions and finishing up with our A, which we haven't been doing the last few, just for something different.
Yeah, well, I guess that'll suit some of the quicker heats tonight. It'll be a little bit cooler. Hopefully the breeze is pretty low. And
Yeah, it's starting to feel pretty nice. Mind you, that is up here in the grandstand. I'm not sure what it's quite like on the track.
And beautiful view too. Lovely Melbourne skyline as the sun's coming down.
Yeah, this is a pretty good spot, really. Compare it to the last Milers Club at about this time. We were sitting here and could not see the skyline during the thunderstorm that we had in the middle of the meet. So this is a nice change of scene, really.
Yeah, no, I think I'd take this sort of heat over storms, wind, and
Oh, definitely.
I think that's why we're
I'm
still
not big
seeing
on rain.
still seeing some good times tonight. So let's hope for some more.
Don't take the pins home with you. The pins you put on the...
Oh, there we go. We got a nice view of the Melbourne skyline. Lovely.
We are running out of the pins. Please bring
There we go. Now everyone can feel like they're here too.
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
And now 10 years running, most livable city. It's official. For a decade. Right here, Melbourne. So it looks like the 1500 metre athletes are gathered nearby the start, but haven't lined them up just yet. Scheduled to start at 8:30, which is in a minute or two. So what are your thoughts going into Hunter this weekend?
A little bit concerned about getting dizzy running so many laps.
Yeah.
I think the big thing will be remembering it's not a 1500 for the first few laps, and remembering that it might feel a bit slower, but it's definitely going to hurt in that second half. Not a huge amount of 5K experience, so definitely need to keep that in mind, or I will not be having fun the last few laps.
Yeah. Oh, with that speed and strength, it should serve you well, and hopefully that'll help for the distances later on. And
yeah, so something a bit different, bit of a new challenge. Hopefully can knock off a bit of PB.
yeah. So what's your PB at the moment?
Currently 15:54 from Vic Champs last year.
Yep.
So hopefully we can knock some off that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so it looks like they've been put on the start line now, so maybe I'll start reading out some names. So wearing hip number 1 is Paul Viney from Collingwood. Number 2, Corey Dixon from Knox Athletic Club. Number 3, Joshua Tram from Collingwood. Number 4, Angus Norman, Yarra Rangers. Number 5, Ben Mornane, Eureka Athletic Club. Number 6 is William Staplefeld from Box Hill. Number 7, Magnus Woods from Williamstown, and also from Williamstown is John Gray, wearing hip number 8. Number 9 will be Max Thompson from Doncaster. Number 10, Kennedy Chen from Box Hill Athletic Club. Also from Box Hill will be Jordan Abbott, wearing hip number 11. And invitational athlete will be Liam Morgan, wearing hip number 12. Number 13 is Anton Pahalek from Whittlesea. Number 14 is Alex Hamilton-Jones. Wearing hip number 15 will be Liam Russell. Number 16, Anthony Mazel. And number 17, rounding out the field from Athletics Essendon, will be Matthew Goodger. So hopefully getting underway in the next minute or two. So they drop down to 36 now.
Oh, 36. I was thinking it felt a lot cooler.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say, we've got a pretty big field here in these 1500s.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing. When you kind of get them out there on the 15s and up, we can have some more in the field so it doesn't get too congested. A little bit chaotic with the old waterfall start in the 800, like the good old little athletics days.
Yes.
So I'll check our fastest C time. We've got a few 455s. So Anton Palahek from Whittlesea, number 13. Max Thompson, number 9. Angus Norman, number 4 from Yarra Rangers. And from Collingwood, Joshua Tram, and also his teammate from Collingwood as well, Paul Viney. So they're all the ones with the fastest sea times, all at 4:55. So let's see how they fare up. So still waiting. So what's up after Hunter?
We're running a 15 over at ACT State Champs that I think some of our other race winners mentioned they were heading over to. So that should be a good meet this year. I think there's a lot of people going over, so it should be a good weekend for ATS all around. Canberra's always a fast track.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be the first 1500 of the season. Just, you know, always a bit scary. See where you really are.
That season opener, it always gets the blood pumping.
Definitely.
I think that's the cool thing about, I suppose, the mixed up structure, you could say, of this season, with Com Games being so early and Com Games trials having to be moved forward for that. And I guess with the state, you know, championships, with those being spread out, kind of really invites other athletes to come up and join in, and you know, gets it competitive. And
yeah, it's really good. It's a bit of a different season, but nothing bad about it. Good fun. But I do keep forgetting that Nationals is quite so soon.
Yeah, 4
often I
weeks
sort of
away
like, oh, Nationals are ages away, and then someone told me I should probably book some flights, so I have done that now. I will be going.
That's good. All right, stepping up to the line. Here we go. First of the men's 1500s.
Our starter looks like he's getting pretty ready, so he mustn't be far away.
Yep, ready to go. I'm sure these athletes are too.
At least they won't be getting cold.
Yeah. Nah, it's nothing like standing on the start line that gets the heart pumping. The adrenaline flowing.
Definitely stressful times.
Love the look of the headband here from the young Box Hill athlete and the Knox athlete as well.
And away in the first of the 1500 metres, this is H Division. Competitors are Corey Dixon, Knox, Angus Norman, Yarra Rangers, Ben Mornane, Eureka.
The great thing about some of these divisions is you get some of the youngest of the athletes and the oldest of the athletes. So it's great seeing all different age groups involved and being able to challenge each other.
Yeah, spot on. So looking at our entry list here, we have our youngest athlete, Magnus Woods. So he'd be 11 years old. And our oldest athlete, born in 62, 55, so 40 odd years between our youngest and oldest athlete. Yeah, that's great.
I'm sure they're rapt we're bringing that up. Probably a good thing it's not the girls' race.
Yeah.
But it looks like one of our young guns has gone to the front to take up the early running. So I think it's Liam Morgan, our invitation athlete. Looks like he's running, is that a Little Aths jersey? Yep. So I'm sure we'll see him in a senior jersey in the years to come. But they go through the first 400 in just over 70 seconds.
So 70 seconds, that'll have them on 4:25. So that's well below their entered times here. So hopefully there's plenty of PBs on the cards here.
Yeah, still early days, I guess, but definitely looks like our young athlete, Liam Morgan out the front, is on a bit of a mission tonight.
He's got a nice little gap there.
Yeah, definitely starting to break away. But that's the great thing about being 11. It is easier to run PBs. They seem to get harder.
Yeah, and you got to love that running with no fear too, I reckon, when you're younger. When you get older, you analyse things too much. And
yeah, you remember how much lactic sucks.
Yeah. So in second from Knox Athletics, that'll be Corey Dixon. And then number 9, Max Thompson from Doncaster. They'll be our top 3. Just under 800 to go now.
now moving into the lead with Corey Dixon from Knox. He's now slowly going past Liam Morgan.
So Corey Dixon, our new leader. First three with the flowing locks there. Gotta love it.
And then the Doncaster runner there running comfortably in next place. This is Max Thompson.
And these front three seem to be breaking further away from that next group of three we've got before another little gap back to the rest of our race. So we've almost got three little races happening in this one here.
Yeah, the odd race within a race. But it looks like Corey Dixon and Max Thompson are now getting a little break, and the race will be between those two as we come up to the bell lap.
Corey Dixon leads. Max Thompson from Doncaster.
So Max Thompson, he boasts a PB of 4:55, and Corey Dixon 4:56. So they're tightly matched, and a 76-second lap will get him a PB here.
Yes, hopefully these two can work together and push each other, and they can dip under that PB. But Liam Morgan still holds down that third place position, so hopefully he can keep his eyes on those two and just give him something to think about. Not too lost on his own there.
Yeah, that's for sure. In no man's land at the moment. That's not where you want to be in a 10K. By 300 to go.
But looks like our leaders are really starting to roll down with about 250 to go.
Yeah, Max Thompson's looking really strong. He just got that sniff around the back straight and pushed off, but Dixon won't settle.
He hasn't been able to shake Dixon. He's staying with him. Dixon moving back up.
I reckon Dixon's going to come off the bend here.
Yeah, looks like he has got another little something he's saved for the last 100 as he comes around wide as they enter the home straight. But these two are on for a hot battle this last 100.
Yeah, this is a brilliant finish. Well done, Corey Dixon. Real gutsy run, and it looks like he's going to be rewarded with a big PB here. 4:42 and 4:44 for Max Thompson. So 12, 11 second PBs, yeah.
And our early leader does hold on for third place, which is great to see.
And still all these athletes under 5 minutes here, so I reckon there was numerous PBs in that heat.
Yeah, looked like it. And we did say the weather is starting to feel pretty perfect. The sun's gone down. Still pretty warm, but you don't have that direct sun pounding down on you anymore, so you couldn't really ask for too much more.
Yeah, exactly, and a nice cool breeze, so hopefully, yeah, it'll really suit these athletes, and they'll be excited now and see some more good performances.
If I was sitting around waiting to run a 1500, I'd be pretty happy with where the weather was at. So hopefully some big things to come later in the program.
Yeah, hopefully. So finishing off here from Box Hill Athletics, number 6, so that'll be William Staplefelt, born in 2005. So
yeah, one of our youngest athletes,
young 12-year-old.
running here tonight.
Yeah, good on him. Great to see those young kids running around the track because, I mean, they'll be the future of the sport, so. So another men's 1500 metre race here, Heat G. You want to call these ones, Lyndon?
Ooh. All right, so lining up in our G, 1500 metres, we do have Jack Hill of Box Hill, Thomas Diamond of Box Hill, Alistair O'Brien of Knox, Aidan Morgan, who's running Invitation, Jared Cripps of Diamond Valley, James Anderson of Yarra Rangers, Aaron Murphy of South Melbourne, Ryan Tuskai of South Melbourne also, Thomas Glover of Western A's, Craig Green of Melbourne Bendigo Uni, just saw the uni and got ahead of myself, Mikhail Susan of Glen Huntly, Max Taylor, Athletics Essendon, Jackson Glover, Western Athletics, Ross Pentland, South Melbourne, Andrew Ross, South Melbourne, and Michael Bishop of Mornington Peninsula. We've got quite a few South Melbourne runners in this one. They're suspicious they could all train together. Bit of a team effort here.
Yeah, 4 of them. That's good to see. Love that team running. That's also good about college, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. Not out there on your own.
Yep, team around you. We've got a very early leader here.
Yes, that's Jared Cripps, our Diamond Valley athlete, and he looks like he might have an agenda tonight and has really flown out the, well, not the blocks because it's a 1500, but you get the idea.
Yeah, 32 seconds. May as well have blocks. He's looking great.
Yeah, so his early start has really strung the whole field out almost. They're broken up very quickly here in our G1500.
So Jackson Glover, he's in second. And then from athletics, Essendon, I believe that'll be Max Taylor, third place. Then the first of the South Melbourne Brigade.
So the big breakaway lead does continue, but we do have someone in hot pursuit, which looks like one of our Western Athletics athletes.
Yeah, I think that'll be Thomas Glover. So he's in that no man's land at the moment, but he looks like he's closing on our leader. So
yeah, he does have an incentive to chase down, which does make it a little bit easy, and I'm sure he can sniff catching on a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I suspect he'll get right on his heels. Hopefully he can tuck in behind there, because I can feel that breeze. So I think a little bit of wind out there.
Yeah, they will be running into a slight wind down the front straight, I think. But nothing anyone familiar with Lakeside has not experienced before.
Yeah, it's kind to us tonight.
So our front two runners are almost joined up together as we come through with 800 metres remaining.
I must say, Glover looks pretty comfortable there from Western Aths.
Yeah, just as he moves up on the shoulder. And just as we say that, he does go past and becomes our new race leader.
And it was a smart move too, I think, before, just slowly edging his way up. He didn't get too excited, too carried away. He just edged the gap. But
yeah, so hopefully we can see these two stick together and work together over this last bit of the race.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that'd be perfect for Jared right now. If he can just tuck in and recharge and focus and get ready for a strong last lap, then hopefully he'll be rewarded with a PB. So
yes,
Jared Cripps, 4:34 is PB. That's what he'll be looking for.
They're coming to the straight.
So our first two athletes come down towards the freight to get the bell. But there is a bit of a gap starting to grow again.
Yeah, so Glover's still looking pretty comfortable. So 4:49 is his season's best. So I suspect he'll get well under that tonight.
And just as we say that, it does look like he has gotten a little bit closer. And this is almost what we saw in the last lap, just in reverse.
Yeah,
So
you're exactly right.
we could be on for a big finish over this last 300 between these two.
Yeah, Cripps is still looking pretty poised and cruisy right there. So I suspect maybe 150, 200 to go, he might make a bit of a move. But
And they still have a very significant back to the third place athlete, which is the first of our South Melbourne athletes.
exactly, so
These two look like they will be 1-2 in this race, pending disaster.
yeah. But yeah, Glover's, he's looking great there.
Yeah, and he has pulled away from Jared Cripps.
Yeah, I'd say Glover would be pretty hard to beat from here.
But all props to Jared for really opening this race up early and making it quick from the gun.
Yeah, he got after it. He was courageous, and he's still finishing strong now. But Glover swung out to lane 2. He's feeling confident, so 4:49. That was his PB. He's gotten well under that.
It looks like both these athletes are going to be under their PB as well, which is great to see.
The South Melbourne Brigade, there we go. Some great running there.
We've got some close finishes coming in the second half of this race, getting those splits on the watches, getting it onto Strava, I'm sure.
Oh, that's it. If it ain't on Strava, it never happened, right? So it was Ross Pentland was one of those fighting right to the finish with Max Taylor, I believe. So really good to see the athletes just fighting over every position, every second, every inch. That's what distance runners are made of. Courage, guts.
Is that original material, or have you?
No, that's original. It's original. Straight from the heart.
Pins, we need your pins.
All right, so back into the 1500s, and joining us again now is the wonderful Michael Masseni.
Thanks, James. That's more than Tim Grosby gave me in the pre-game Instagram amble, but forgive and forget.
Yeah, I reckon there's a little bit of banter going on between the commentators there.
So turn our attention. This is the men's F race.
That's it.
We have lane 1, Lockie Morehouse. Lane 2, Tony Russo. 3, Zach Mottram. 4, William Gardner. 5, Harry Bowden. 6, Joshua Hawkes. 7, Thomas Bartels. 8, Durham Dill. 9, Kane Harrison. 10, Will Richards. 11, Ashton Key. 12, Luke Sin. 13, James Lee. 14, Jack Diamond. 15, Bailey Morrell. 16, Benjamin Collins. And 17, Charlie Close from the Williamstown Athletic Club as they make their way through lap number 1, his 1500 metre event, James.
Yeah, so leading this race, you got Thomas Bartel. And then right up there we've got Zach Mottram. What a name.
Famous name in Australian distance running indeed. Let's see if he can channel the Craig of the Mottram name.
Yeah, do him proud. A lot to live up to.
So it's still Thomas Bartels of Sandringham Athletic Club with Will Richards of All Melburnians up on his shoulder.
Yeah, so Bartels is looking good. Usually down at the track for a bit of hurdle training. He looks great over the hurdles. So
future steepler, you reckon?
I think so. I think we can expect some good things.
Bring back the Milers Club steeplechase races, you reckon, James?
Oh, I reckon. That'd be great. Get some stacks.
So is it the invitational athlete here in Aston Key?
I think so.
So it's great that anyone can enter these Milers Club races, whether you're from interstate and not registered with a club, whether you're a little athlete not yet registered with an Athletics Victoria club either, or just a general rec runner who wants to come down and try their luck on the track. Milers Club really is for all. You just have to pay that entry fee and you're good to go. As we turn our attention back to the boys as they clear 1,000 metres in this 1,500 metre event.
So it's William Gardner from Melbourne Uni. He's looking pretty strong right there, just sitting in second, but
it is still Ashton Key, our invite athlete.
Yeah, he's looking great.
So he's
donning the man bun. Love to see it.
That's it. So the boys going through in 3:12. Seed times of around the mid 420s mark. So about 72, 73 second lap to clear on this last if they want to head to PB Town.
Oh, certainly. PB Town. That's a good town. Oh, huge move.
So
they all accelerated.
That's it. They're starting to string out. Will Richards really showing what he's all about as he moved through to 200 metres to go.
Yeah, it looked like Aston Key kind of just exploded with 300. I thought he was going to pull this big gap.
But look at Tony Russo. The experience of the Glenn Huntley runner is showing as he kind of holds the gap between him and Will Richards. So it still is Will Richards. A couple mares behind. Tony Russo from Glen Huntley. Does he step into lane 2 to try and pass? I think Will Richards is just going to be too strong. Bridging the gap, 5, 6, 7. No, it's about 10 metres. Goes through for a 4.16 and a 14-second season's best for Will Richards. Tony Russo, also a season's best. I think about the first 5 athletes are around under the 4.25 mark, so we'll all collect season's best or PBs there.
Yeah,
James,
I think that
great
might
racing.
have actually been William Gardner who took out that race.
That's it. So
the Melbourne Uni 4.26, his PB. So yeah, it's pretty exciting running there, that one. So
that's it. It was too. Apologise for that. We got mistaken from the Will Richards of Old Melburnians. So it was Will Gardner for the win on that race. So fantastic racing from Will there.
That's right. 2 heads are better than 1.
That's it. Just replace Will with the other Will for the commentary and watch it again when it gets uploaded on YouTube later.
So up next, we've got the first of the women's 1500s.
Yeah, the women's D race. So 4 1,500 metre races tonight for the women.
Yeah, great. There's 20.
Big field. PBs ranging about 40 seconds. So it is interesting to see the tactics in these lower seeded races as they are so spread out in their abilities, and it sort of gets more tightly bunched, more tactical as you get up to the A races.
Alrighty, so in this field, wearing hip number 1 will be Ruby Alley, number 2, Jess Hepworth, number 3, Amy Lane, number 4, Alice Oakley Kerr, number 5, Gemma Dennison. Hip number 6 will be Carly Atkinson, number 7, Nicole Joseph, 8, Madeline Lum, 9, Rihanna Watts, 10, Karima Wakim, 11, Chloe Rosenberg, 12, Bianca Skerry, 13, Tegan Gary, 14, Tess Rhodes, 15, Leah McDonald, number 16, Sarah Watts, 17, Zoe Delaney, 18, Simone Brick, 19, Roxy Phipps, and hip number 20 is Amy Venendal from Yarra Rangers. So 5:06, 5:05 is the fastest sea time here, and that's Simone Brick of South Melbourne. He'll be wearing hip number 18.
And away in this women's 1,500 metres D race. Runners are Ruby Alley, Essendon, Jess Epworth, Box Hill, Amy Lane, Western Athletics, Alice Oakley Kerr, Sandringham.
So it's a race for the first 100 metres. Who's going to clear that first 100 as they go 3 wide?
Yeah, it's great to see. They're obviously getting after it here, all after fast times, and that's what Vic Milers Club's all about.
That's it. Get amongst it up the front.
South Melbourne, Tess Rhodes, Chilwell, Leah McDonald, Knox.
So it looks like an athlete from Box Hill. Could be Jess Hepworth or Carly Atkinson. Both have fast seat times.
Yeah, that'll be Jess Hepworth.
And it is Jess Hepworth in the 4.903 up the front. The Sandringham athlete in, I believe, Alice Oakley Kerr up there as well. Bianca Skerry not far behind. So it is a race of the Box Hill and Sandringham girls so far.
You gotta love to see a good team battle, don't you?
Sorry, what was that?
Love to see a good team battle.
That's it. Inter-club race right there. Forget about everyone else for now.
Yeah, a bit of club pride.
Amy Lane is going to ruin that though, sitting into 4th place. The athlete from Western Athletics Club, the mighty Western Athletics.
The mighty Western Athletics. The mighty West, the Bulldogs.
That's it, the sons of. So a fairly evenly run race. Jess Hepworth still in the lead. Alice Oakley Kerr right there as well.
So hopefully we can get the teammates from Box Hill working together here. It looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
That's it. Carly Atkinson, Roxy Phipps as well.
That'll be Tess Rhodes from Athletics Chilwell, who's 5th. But Alice Oakley Kerr, she's looking pretty comfortable. She's in a pretty good spot at the moment.
They do. Those first few girls just look very keen to enjoy each other's company in that front pack there. Amy Lane, a bit more experienced athlete, just moving away to the front. Said, I've had enough of this. Stop playing games, girls.
Must be the mighty West.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so Amy Lane bridging a bit of a gap there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if she keeps increasing this gap or if the other girls here will respond. I suspect that they will respond.
That's it. A handful of them going through and around that 2 minute and 40-second mark, give or take a second or so, which will land them right on a 5 minute 1500 metre.
Yeah, spot on. Good maths there, Michael. Yeah, Amy Lane's looking pretty strong there. It looks like she's ever so slightly increased the gap, but more importantly, she's holding the gap.
That's it. It is tough to be a front runner in these races, in any race. It is often a lot easier just to sit back with your mates, enjoy tucking in on the inside, getting a bit of a wind break. Not that there's much wind tonight, but Amy Lane doing all the hard work out the front with almost 400 metres to go.
Yeah, Prefontaine would be proud, wouldn't he?
That's it. 3:43, 3:44 heading through the bell. If these girls get about a minute 20 or so, a few of them will get PBs.
Yeah, so Tess Rhodes is now our new leader. She made a really good surge right as she heard the bell. And there's another big move also being made. The athlete moving up into second place.
So the girls are spread out. There's 4 girls now.
But Tess Rhodes is looking really good. Amy Lanes, she's making another move.
Yeah, so 200 to go. About 8 to 10 metre gap. Tess Rhodes to Amy Lane. Amy Lane just turning over those legs. He's pretty experienced over the 800 metre running as well, so might have a bit of a quick finish.
Yeah, she's looking good, and I hope she does have a quick finish because she deserves to win this race. She worked very hard.
And Simone Brick is the athlete in third place currently from South Melbourne Athletic Club, but here's Tess Rhodes. She's extended her lead. Her legs are ticking over way too fast now for anyone to catch her. And her seed time, 5:10, so whether it be season best or PB, she'll break that by 8 seconds as she comes from about 5:01, 5:02. Amy Lane in second place, running very strongly as well, also collecting a season's best, as I'm sure a lot of the other girls in this race do as well.
Yeah, it was a great run by Tess. She was patient, and that last 400, she looked really strong. She heard the bell, she took off, and she was rewarded. That's quite often the way with these sorts of races. It's using your smarts, using your instincts, and being able to be patient and making that last move, and she was rewarded with a win for that.
That's it. You are, James. And as we tick over to 9 p.m, do you want to go for another Michael and James Bureau of Meteorology weather check? What's your prediction at 9 p.m, James?
I reckon it feels like 34. I've gone with that all night.
34.0 or?
34.5.
0.5.
In the middle. And
we refresh the page. 35.0.
Oh, so only 0.5 off.
That's it, 0.5 off. About a 4.5 difference to when we started at 6:30 tonight. So, bit of cloud cover. Just the night sky taking the edge off the heat for these runners today. So, it actually doesn't feel like 35. It feels a bit cooler.
Yeah, up here in the stands.
Yeah, that's it. We're not running around though. Okay, so the men's...
You call the next one for us, Michael.
Men's E-race is next. Men's E-race. Station 1, Alison McDonald, Western Athletics. Benjamin Beischer, Old Connor Ogilvie, Box Hill. Taj Davies, Mornington Peninsula. Harrison Malone, Glenn Huntley. Luca DeConza, St Kevin's. Benjamin Sherman, Old Zavarians. Lee McCullough, Invitation. Caden Murray, Diamond Valley. Seamus Graham, St Stevens. Ben Sims, St Stevens. Tom Hockley Salmon, Athletics Chilwell, Harrison Van Duren, Yarra Rangers, Lachlan Azard, Athletics Essendon, Benedict Scott, Ringwood, and an international athlete, our second international athlete for the night, Jun Kaibi, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, from Japan.
Great, love it.
So how's that? We've had a Canadian athlete and a Japanese athlete tonight, a number of Tasmanians, South Australians and New South Welshmen
Yeah,
also.
I reckon there's some Queenslanders too coming in a little bit later. So it's Tom Hockley Salmon. Yes, that is who's currently leading the field. And then our Japanese athlete just on the outside of the shoulder there, that would be Taj Davies, who is in second place.
So seed times, as far as the fastest athletes in this race go, James, 4:15 is the time that a few of them will be hunting.
Yeah.
Separated by about 5 seconds down to 4:20. So 4:15, you're looking at about a 68 second per lap pace.
Yeah, great. And in fourth place there, looking very comfortable, is Harrison Malone. Did a lot of racing with him back in the junior days. He was a fellow Caulfield grammarian, so it's great to see him back out running now. And very talented runner, Harrison.
That's good, Harrison Malone.
Yes, from Glen Huntley in the light blue singlet.
That's it. So Jun Kaibi is making the trip worth it as he's in the lead, about 700 metres into the race, closely followed by Benjamin Baisha from Old Scotch.
I reckon it looks like our leader Jun from Japan is wearing flats.
That's a pretty big call in his fast races, but not always the worst thing. Saves the feet a little bit if this isn't your key race of the season. Maybe early on for him. Doesn't want to ruin the feet or the bone structure, the muscles.
Yeah, blow out the calves.
That's it.
Let's have it a few times. Can't walk the next morning. Anyway, back to the race. So from Ringwood, I think is our new leader.
Scott Benedict, that is, James.
Yeah, he's looking good. There's a nice little break, and Harrison Malone's looking comfortable. I reckon he's my tip for this at the moment. He's looking very smooth.
I just like the name, Harrison Malone.
Harrison Malone. Does come off the tongue nicely, doesn't it?
So 1,000 metres into this race. We've lost our time on the screen, but that was about 2:54. They went through that K in. So they're heading for around that 4:20, 1,500 metre pace. Scott Benedict, Ben Baisha, Harrison Malone. 1 lap to go. 3:10 is the time as they hit the bell.
And Seamus Graham from St. Stephen's, he's looking very good there. He's closing that gap on that front group. He's also one, I think, to watch out in the steeplechase in the future years. He also looks very good over the hurdles.
That's it. So they will need to run very fast in this last lap to achieve PBs for some of them, closing in about that 67, 68 or even faster. Harrison Malone, it was your call at the start of the race, James. 200 metres to go. He's bridging a bit of a gap between him and the St. Stephen's athlete in Seamus Graham, I believe. 5 metres into 10 metres, just like that. 130 metres to go. It will be Harrison Malone who enters the straight first.
Yeah, he's looking very smooth at the moment. With about 300 to go, he just opened up the stride, never looked back.
That's it. 4:18, that seed time as well.
Oh, he'll get
and
well
he's
under that.
He's going to achieve that, whether that be a season's best or a PB. 4:14.
Great run, Harrison.
That's it.
And 4:17, Seamus Graham. He was seated at
Graham,
4:18.
That's it.
Big finish right there. There's 4 or 5 athletes within half a second, half a stride.
That's it. That's what we expect in these Milers Club races when they're so evenly matched.
So next looks like we've got the women's 1,500 metre C race.
We do. And you've got some notes there.
I do.
James.
I've got a few special mentions. Wearing hip number 5, we've got Esther Houghton. So she was a finalist in the Vic All Schools for the 800 and the 1,500.
That's it. Another Westie there.
We Yeah, Williamstown. Must be
over the bridge.
something in the water.
Breed 'em tough out there.
Yeah. So she's 12. She was born in 2005.
Wow.
As well as Bianca Croucher. So we've got some young athletes here, and that's really great to see. So we've got another steeplechaser in here. I love making mention of the steeplechasers.
So you use steeplechaser yourself, James?
Yes.
Don't mind it?
Try to be, anyway. Bit of fun if I can stay on my 2 feet.
That's it, not get injured in the process.
Yeah,
that's
not fracture your elbow or anything like that, yeah.
Fractured your elbow, you say?
Yeah. Face planted.
Bit of hurdle training
Not how
gone
it's
wrong.
supposed to be done.
Okay, we turn our attention to the start of this women's C race. I'll read them from the top. Brianna Kroll from Box Hill, Kate Siebold from Knox, Maddie Lawson, Richmond, Bianca Croucher, Wellington, Esther Horton, Williamstown, Tess Berger, Maccabee, Abby Kenny, Knox, Monica Clark, Old Zavs, Matisse Lazari, Casey, Vanessa Wilson, Glenn Huntley, Amber Lau, Collingwood, Ella Fisher, Frankston, Zoe Sibley from Yarra Rangers, Emily Dan, Sandringham, kind of rhymes, Genevieve O'Brien, Glenn Huntley, Letiata Presser from Athletics Essendon, Emily Dare, Sandringham, Julia McLaren, Athletics Essendon, Sasha Bennett, Old Zavs, Saskia Lloyd from South Melbourne Athletic Club as they go through the 300 metre mark in this 1500 metre C race.
Yeah, a little under 60 seconds. So Emily Dare is who I want to say was the steeplechaser. She was third at the Victorian All Schools in the under 17. So
recognise the name from the last Milers Club meet as well. I think she must have done pretty well. It could be Bianca Croucher out front from Wellington Athletic Club if I've got my Asvic uniforms right. You tell me, James, you're the membership manager or coordinator, shall we say?
Yeah, you've put me under the pump.
Yeah.
No, that is Bianca Croucher from Wellington Athletic Club. In the
Kate Siebold from Knox, the experienced runner. They're from Knox, making her way to the front. Didn't like the pace of Bianca, clearly.
Yeah, so she stepped the pace up.
So coming into the straight, very tightly packed field still.
In second place, that'll be Matisse Lazari.
Matisse Lazari.
Yeah, so in the last 1500 at Milers Club, she was also, the 800 I should say, she was in the C heat. She finished second, so we'll see how she can go here.
That's it. So a few athletes hovering around that 5 minute mark. 4:56 from Vanessa Wilson of Glenn Huntley. A couple of 4:59s, 5s, 5:01s.
Yeah, so certainly sub-5 would have to be the goal for these athletes here in this
That's
heat
it.
at the moment.
We'd be looking at 1 minute 20 per lap, exactly even split 5 minute 1500. So if they're a little bit ahead of that, they're heading for about a 4:55. If they're a little bit over that, you're more looking at a 5:05, I guess. Depends how much over or how much under. It's a bit misleading.
Yeah. Mathematician here.
That's it.
Masseni, yeah.
Maybe I've been running around 5 minute pace for too long.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, Kate Sibol's looking pretty good. She's made that move, and she's held on to that. But Matisse Lazari is looking strong, and she's in a good position there to just be able to sit behind her.
That's it. And the top 3 girls headed through, even the top 6 girls headed through that 1K mark in a touch under 3:20 pace. So they'll mean they're right on pace for that sub-5 1500. So it's Matisse Lazari, who is not mucking around, taking the lead from Kate Siebold with 400 to go. And the Glenn
it must
Huntley
be
athlete.
those bright shoes, Michael.
That's it. It's all about the shoes, you reckon, James?
Yep. They look fast. She's running fast. She heard the bell. Look at this gap she's put on them now.
That's it.
That's Vanessa Wilson.
Vanessa Wilson.
Yep.
Highest seed athlete in this race at a 4:56. And pretty much on track for that PB of hers.
She's opened up a very commanding lead. All in the space of about 150 metres. So with 200 to go, I suspect she'll be able to hold on.
That's it. She's just striding out, increasing slowly. Well, not slowly, quickly. Got about a 30-metre lead as we head past that final steeple. Not that we're in a steeplechase race, although you wish we were, James. 100 metres to go. Vanessa Wilson from Glen Huntly. There is an athlete from Essendon. Letitia Presser from Athletics Essendon closing in, but Vanessa Wilson will get the win here in the C race in the 1500 metre. 4:54, 2-second PB. Letitia will pick up a PB as well, a few seconds. First time under 5 minutes. A number of athletes around that mark as well. Very consistent running as all the girls put their hands in their knees, completely exhausted after this tough 1500 race. On reasonably trying conditions here, about 34 degrees on the track at the moment.
Yeah, very hot tonight, very hot. But hot track, I think, means hot time. So
that's it.
Now that that sun's gone down, and 8s and 15s, wouldn't want to be doing a 5K or 10K tonight.
Wouldn't have thought so, nah.
But 8 or 15 could be all right. And of course, the steeplechase.
Yeah, don't forget about the steeplechase.
Yep. So up next will be the men's D, 1500 metres.
That's it. Call them out, James.
Shall do. So wearing hip number 1 from Glen Huntly will be Alistair Strutt. Number 2, Thomas Scroggy. Number 3, Tsun Yin Kwok, is an invitational athlete. Number 4 will be Daniel D'Alberto. Number 5 from Box Hill Athletic Club will be Clary McIntyre. Good friend, good training partner of mine. Hopefully he get under his 4:13, his season's best. Number 6, Fraser Rossman. Number 7, Matthew Sostarich. Number 8, Eric Yuda. Number 9, Roman Kodikara. Number 10, Ethan Sin. 11, Jasper Pickering. Number 12, Brent Camilleri. 13, Mitchell Waring. 14, Dom Godfrey. 15, Jake Webb. 16, Sam Bunnage. 17, Daniel Mitchell. And 18 will be Aidan Roberts. So they're off now. And it looks like a cracking pace to start with.
So a few of the stronger Halebarian collegians in this race in Jake Webb, Roman Kodikara and Sam Bunnage. Shout out to the boys from Haileybury College.
Oh,
looking forward to a big APS season from the lads.
Jasper Pickering, Glen Huntly, Brent Camilleri, Diamond Valley, Mitchell Waring, South Melbourne, Dom Godfrey, Chilwell, Jake Webb, Dandenong, Sam Bunnage.
So it will be Rosamond Fraser from St Stephen's, who takes the lead on the inside lane 1. The athlete from Diamond Valley just on the outside, not letting him get away in Aidan Roberts. And Roman Kodikara makes his way to the front, 300 metres in.
Yeah, Kodikara's looking quite smooth at the moment, but so too is Fraser Rossman. So what have they gone through? 67.
That's it. The seed times are lying between 4:09 and a 4:15. So if we look at our pacing chart here, we have done our homework. What does that get us?
4:10.
So sub 4:10. What laps are we looking at? About 66s.
66.7.
That's it, to be precise.
We need 66. So they were about 67 for that first lap. So
right on pace for that 4:10.
Yeah, so Kodikara's looking pretty comfortable out front. And in second place in that very colourful kit.
That's it. Is our invitation athlete.
Yeah,
in Sun Yin Kwok.
Yin Kwok, yep.
Good pronunciation.
Yeah, I hope we've done okay. So third place, that's Diamond Valley. I suspect that'll be Aidan Roberts. Boasts a 4:09 PB, so that's the quickest of the entries for this heat.
That's it. So Kodikara leading through the 2 laps, about 2:17, 2:18. A bit shy of that 4:09 4:10 pace that a few of them are after, but a few have quoted PBs around the 4:14, 4:15 mark. So with a few strong laps, it could still be PBs for all. We'll just have to wait and see. Still very tightly bunched.
Yeah, very tightly bunched at the moment. So I think we can expect in the next couple of 100 metres, hopefully a decisive move that'll split this race open.
So yeah, they are more heading around that 4:15 pace. But who knows? Can we see a last 400 kick down? They're also tightly bunched. I could not pick it.
Oh, very tightly bunched, but
Daniel D'Alberto, no, class runner. Very quick young athlete. As he moves to the front. Ethan Sin from Doncaster doesn't look to be leading game away.
Yeah, D'Alberto's looking pretty strong now. From Melbourne Uni,
Eric Uda.
He looks
done
great.
Some training up at Falls Creek over the summer up on the mountains. So hopefully this is paying off for him now, back on the track.
Yeah, he's looking very good. We're in for a huge finish here. Konakara's making another move.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, not just look at the front of the pack, but looking deep in the pack as well and seeing the moves in minor places, getting that extra second, extra kick for those PBs. So here's Eric Uda. Daniel D'Alberto.
Huge finish. He's looking very strong.
And he's that Daniel Mitchell from St Stevens taking the win, making a big kick towards finishing 4:13. Eric Uda in second, 4:14.
Yeah, that was a great run from Daniel Mitchell.
And a PB for him as well, by a couple of seconds. So
great to see. Yeah, that strong finish. And if I remember correctly, in the 3K at the first Milers Club, I think he took out the C section of the 3K, and it was the same thing again. He just looked strong that last lap and ran away with it, and he's done it again tonight. So great running there from Dan Mitchell.
That's it. Great running from all the boys. Okay, we have the next race on the track, the women's B race. I'll let you go through the starters in this one, James. You made a few notes, a few athletes to watch out for.
Yeah, there's a fair few junior athletes in this one that have some pretty good accolades next to their name, so I'll call those out. But so hip number 1 will be Abigail Thomas. Number 2 will be Yasmin Hayes. Number 3, Simone Maladay. She was 3rd in the Victorian All Schools 1500 earlier. Emily Mises is number 4. She was 5th in the under-18s 1500 at the Vic All Schools. Hip number 5 will be Audrey Campkin-Smith. Number 6, Kelsey Vickery. Ruby Dixon. Number 7, number 8, Cassie Deeg. 9, Mia Pope. Number 10, Cassandra Hallam. 11, Lauren Connell. 12, Belinda Bozen. 13, Georgina Mees. 14, Amelia Eagling Every. 15, Chloe Dennison. 16, Rachel Jennings. 17, Jessica Neng. And number 18 will be Caitlin Egan.
A swagger of recognisable names in this race. James, lots to look out for.
So,
Ruby Dixon, been very strong in the past. Audrey Campkin-Smith, been trained up at Falls Creek, as has Belinda Boson from Williamstown as well. Georgina Mees, little athlete, just come off a development camp for the last few days, so we'll see if she's a bit heavy in the legs or not from the training.
I'm sure she'll be all right. Ready to go. So I believe that'll be our pacemaker that's in the lead at the moment. So we'll see what she takes them through for that first lap. It looks to be about a 72, 73. So 4:30 pace.
Campkin-Smith with that high seed time of 4:45. So they'd want to be going through their laps in about 75 to 76 seconds.
Yeah, so a few seconds below that for that first lap. So exciting for these athletes. So I think who is our race leader behind the pacemaker will be Emily Mises, Athletic Essendon, and she's looking pretty comfortable at the moment.
Well, they work their way into the home straight. Pacemaker doing a great job here. Mises is leading a very mostly bunch field.
So Mises also highly seeded at a 4:46. So she's not mucking around being at the front of the field. She knows what she's doing.
But then Audrey Campkin-Smith, who's got that faster seed time, she's right there as well.
Cassandra Hallam, Wellington Athletics, also right up there, just on the shoulder of Mitzes. As they go through the first 2 laps in 2:32, so right on that 76-second lap if they want to hit that 4:45.
Yeah, spot on the money at the moment. And joining those leaders looks to be Lauren Connell from Athletics Essendon with that long loping stride.
That's it. The pacemakers may be keen for a win tonight. What do you reckon?
I think so.
They've got a bit of a gap on the field. The rest of the field's just slowly making their way up, but she might dip out about the 1.5, well, 1.1k mark, I would assume.
Yeah, I'd imagine she would. But yeah, I think we'll be in for a big last lap. The group's bunching up.
Cassie
There we go,
Deeg.
the pacemaker's off.
That's it. Cassie Deeg from Chilwell in the mix as well.
So
another athlete from
Audrey
Athletics.
Campkin-Smith, who's taken the lead. So she's our fastest athlete in the field.
So is Campkin-Smith, 3:30 to the bell. So she has...
She needs to do about a 75.
75 seconds. The master's right, yep.
Yeah.
75 seconds, so continue that consistent pace. If she has a bit of a kick, she'll be home in under 4:45 as she clears about a 10-metre lead with 300 to go. Cassandra Hallam from Wellington Athletic Club right there as well. Amelia Eagley-Every from Essendon Athletics.
Now, a huge charge being made from...
Is that
Franks
Caitlin Egan
Athletics?
from
Yeah, I believe that
Frankston
is
as
Kate
well?
Egan, yeah. Great move on the back straight.
So 200 to go. Caitlin Egan making a bit of a move. Probably holding the gap between herself and Audrey Campkin-Smith. Cassie Deeg also. Oh no, that's Belinda Boson up on Katie Egan's shoulder. 100 metres to go. Audrey Campkin-Smith still holding the lead, but Belinda Boson is coming strongly. Audrey may just hold that lead. She's heading for that 4:45. Will she get there? And she does.
Yes.
Couple of second PB for Audrey Campkin-Smith. Belinda Boson in second. Great run. And in third place, it looked like Cassie Deeg, potentially from Athletics Chilwell. Stands to be corrected on that one, though.
All around 4:45 there, so I expect there'll be a large number of PBs in that race. Michael, what do you think?
I would think so. There was a bit of a range of C times between 4:45 and 4:55 then, but most getting under that 5-minute barrier at least. So, yeah, I'd suspect a few PBs in that field there.
So next up, we'll have our men's C 1500.
We might be checking out an interview with Georgie Buckley before we get into this men's C race. So stand by for that. I think she's just chasing up the winner.
Yeah, get a word from Audrey and
We have first aid, please.
get inside of what it's like out there at the moment.
Finish, please.
So we are off and underway.
Okay, we're going to go to Georgie Parker, who's got the interview down there of the winner of the last race. Georgie, who have you got?
We're down here with Audrey Campkin-Smith, who's just taken out the women's B 1500 metres. She's been training hard up at Falls Creek over Christmas and New Year's. What was your plan going into this race?
Nothing much really. I mean, I haven't raced in like 2 years, so I wasn't really expecting anything. I didn't get a PB, but I was like close-ish to it, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I didn't really have a plan, just got out there and ran really.
So you're one of the fastest seeded times going into the race and unofficially have come through in about 4:43. You really took the lead going into that bell lap. What were you thinking?
I guess I just thought I didn't want to like leave anything on the track and be disappointed with my race, so I thought I'd just go. I felt like all right with 500 to go, so yeah.
Well, sounds like it worked well. Back to you guys.
At the moment we have George Lancaster from Wellington Athletic, who's our leader. He ran a very good race at the Vic All Schools 3K.
Yep, that's fine.
5th in the under-17 division. Now he's closely followed by Riley Bryce, who actually took out the under-17 800 at the Vic All Schools. So,
Hey, quickly tell me where picture in picture is.
So shoot through the field. The names we have: Caleb Sin, Doncaster; Harry Norman, Yarra Rangers; Edward Marks, Glenn Huntley; Jack Itter, Diamond Valley; Jack Powell, Melbourne Uni; George Lancaster, Wellington; Patrick Matthews, Keele St Bernard's; Ethan Anthony, Mornington Peninsula; Dean Neofatu, Diamond Valley; Michael Kernahan, Mentone; Tristan Day, St Kevin's; Jake Malone, Glenn Huntley; Riley Bryce, South Melbourne; Aaron Humphrey, all the way from Tasmania; Harry Sharp from Wendouree; John Portwood from Doncaster; Joel Donner from Athletics Nunawading; and Scott Mason from Athletics Essendon, as we turn our attention back to the race, about 800 to 900 metres in.
yeah, the Tasmanian's gone for it. He wants to make sure his trip here is worthwhile. So it's Aaron Humphrey who's our leader. He made that pretty solid move almost a lap ago, and it certainly strung the field out, and hopefully this will all pull them along to pretty fast times.
Yeah, so there are a number of athletes around that 4:02, 4:03, 4:04 mark. So I'll be looking for about a 64 to 65 second per lap pace to crack that 4 minute period.
Yeah, Michael.
Dean Neofatu up on the shoulder of the Tasmanian athlete with a lap to go, but needs to drop a sub 60 to get under 4 minutes.
Was that Dean Neofatu from Diamond Valley, I think, who's taken the lead, but from South Melbourne.
That's it. The athlete from South Melbourne in Riley Bryce has taken over Dean Neofatu from Diamond Valley.
And he's got that 800 speed, and that's what he's showing here.
That's it. Jack Powell, though, the highest seeded athlete at a 4:02 in this race, not letting Riley Bryce get away with it. He's holding about a metre back from him, just itching, I reckon, to take him on the front straight. You don't want to pass on a bend if you can avoid it. So it's Riley Bryce, 100 metres to go as we hit the straight. Will Jack pass him? No. Riley Bryce just extends his lead, responding very, very well.
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5 metres. He'll win this race by about 10 metres, James, in a time of 3:59, would you call it?
3:59.99.
That's it. I'd love to give that to him. Hopefully that's the official time in the end. So Riley Bryce, a PB nonetheless. 4:06 was his listed seed time. Very, very great race there. Jack Powell, also a strong race, and a PB around that 4 minute mark, the athlete from Melbourne Uni.
Yeah, it's a strong finish from Jack Powell. You thought for a second that maybe he would take that one, but gutsy running from Riley Bryce and held him off and showed that 800 speed and class. So
that's it.
Was rewarded with a win.
Gets very exciting when these races are so tightly bunched towards the end of the program.
Oh, exactly. And that's why I'd say 1500s are probably my favourite races to watch, especially at a championship competition. Olympics 1500, World Champs 1500, it's exciting. You get 12 guys in the final and any one of them could really win it.
I definitely agree. You saw the 1,500 metre final at the Rio Olympics, and it was just a race of anyone, wasn't it? It was a slow, tactical race, that great mix between your speed of your 800 guys and your endurance of the 5K guys. Yeah, 1,500 is probably definitely.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's definitely my 1,500 metre is the best event to watch for me.
And
Apart from the steeplechase, of course. Yeah.
My personal favourite.
So may have an interview coming. But the men's B race is the next one on the track.
So I'll see what Rolly Bryce has got to say
about
about that race. But the B race is off and underway.
So just while we're waiting for this interview, I'll run through the competitors in the B race with William Collins from Knox, Daniel Clark, Box Hill, Peter Green, Box Hill, Ben Covington, Tasmania, Eureka, Ryan Norman, Western Ash, Matt Hussey, Dion Kenzie, Tasmania, Ringwood, Tim Norton, Matthew Tung from Athletics Essendon, Kaylin Goldsmith, Mornington, Alistair Chrissy from Knox, Nicholas Fiddler, Wendouree, Daniel Hamilton, Glenn Huntley, Scott McKenzie, Box Hill, Matthew Crowley, Mentone, Harrison Carr, Old Scotch, Adam Spencer, Glenn Huntley, and Frankie Conway, Melbourne Uni.
Thanks, Michael. And we're going to now go down to Georgie. Georgie, you got the winner of the last race. Who have you got there?
So I'm down here with Bryce Riley, who's just taken out the men's 1,500. He's potentially done about a 6-second PB, finishing in unofficially 4 years ago. He's been up at Falls Creek. So what kind of training have you been doing to bring out such a big PB?
Oh, well, a lot of aerobic work, especially up at altitude. And then past couple of weeks just been all speed work. So, yeah.
Great. So Bryce is only 16 years old. He's taken out quite a quality field here at Milers. What's the plan for the rest of the season?
So I got a 3K coming up on Saturday. Then hopefully get a couple of 8s under the belt before Vic Juniors.
Very good. Well, all the best with that, and back to you guys up there.
So it does look like William Collins from Knox Athletics in the lead as we pass through 700, almost 800 metres.
Yeah, so good little pack there. Ryan Norman's there also.
Yes,
I think
please.
we can expect something big from him this race. He's been in great form lately, getting in some great training. Matthew Hussey from Western Athletics, I think he's another one to really look out for in this
That's
race.
it on the good side of the bridge. Fairly tightly bunched still at the front of the field.
Yeah, so Callan Goldsmith from Mornington
He's
Peninsula,
up
he's
there.
another athlete right up there.
So 4:55 lends itself to about 3:55. About 62 and a half second laps. So that's the time that a lot of these athletes will be chasing, with seeds between 3:55 and 4 minutes. As we see the athlete from Melbourne Uni in Frankie Conway make his move to the lead.
Yeah, Spencer from Glenn Huntley, he's made a really good move around the outside. As soon as he heard that bell, he moved around the outside of the pack. Ryan Norman still looking very strong.
That's it. That's the way Adam Spencer runs, though. He likes to sit in the pack and kick like an absolute maniac, as he does. Just watch him on the back straight. He'll take the lead from Frankie Conway of Melbourne Uni pretty soon. Actually, right now, as we head towards 200 metres to go, extend that lead from 1 up to 2 metres. Matt Hussey from Western Athletics right on the shoulder of Frankie Conway. Can he inch his way towards Adam Spencer, or Adam Spencer be too strong? Adam's definitely holding that lead now from Matt Hussey, Western Afs. 100 metres to go. Adam aiming for a time of sub 4 minutes, and he'll almost definitely get there. Frankie Conway, also Ryan Norman, finishing very, very strong. But Adam Spencer, it's all Adam Spencer in this race. 3:54 for the win, followed by Frankie Conway from Melbourne Uni, Ryan Norman from Eureka, and Matthew Hussey from Western Athletics. Not too far behind, with a swagger of other athletes piling in. Swagger. A swagger of athletes.
That's a collective now for you.
Have to look up if that was the actually correct use of the term, but
can use that however we like.
That's it. We're the ones commentating.
Yeah, that was a great run from Spencer, but I must say Hussey's move on the back straight there from Western Aths, he looked phenomenal, and I really thought he was going to bridge that gap and maybe take it out, but Spencer just looked great. That last 150, he notched it up another gear. And
yeah, been watching Spencer run for the last few years through Little Afs and APS races, and got to say he's one of my favourite athletes to watch run. Definitely keep an eye on this lad into the future for sure.
So next up, this will be our women's 1500 A race. I'm pretty excited for this one, actually. It's a pretty good field, and hopefully we can get maybe some World Junior times here.
That's it.
Yeah. So 4:21, that's the World Junior time, and there's a few junior athletes in this one that will certainly run that.
Just
Sophie O'Sullivan, one of those. She ran 2:06 in the 800 at Steigen and looked great. Her last 200 was phenomenal, and I think we can expect something pretty impressive from her tonight. But in the rest of the field, we'll have Nia Jones from Richmond Harriers wearing hip number 1. Number 2 will be Annabelle Eastman. Number 3, Anna Kasapis. Now, this is an interesting one for you. Number 4, Madeline Pape. She was an Olympian for Australia in the Beijing Olympics.
Oh, wow.
She ran 1:59 for the 800, so be interesting to see what she does tonight.
There you go.
Abby
Number of
Caldwell,
Australian.
number 5. Georgia Hansen, number 6. Ruby Smee, number 7. Katie Gamble, number 8. Number 9, Megan Dixon. Number 10, Bianca Puglisi.
Abby Caldwell, Doncaster. Georgia Hansen, Melbourne University.
Number 11, Meg Oakley-Kern. We'll go to George.
Okay, we're just going to interrupt this race now just to go down. Georgie, who have you got down there?
Sophie O'Sullivan, Glenn Utley, Olivia Hobbs, Chilwell, Whitney Sharps, and
100. He's had a really good crack as soon as that bell lap gone and really taken it out, got a bit of an edge on the other competitors. Was that the original intention going into the race today?
Yeah, my coach wanted me to just sit in the first few laps, make sure I come home hard, and I think I did that really well today.
Absolutely. So who's your coach and your main training partners?
I train with Tim O'Shaughnessy, so the Wesley coach, and there's heaps of boys I train with: Shane Graham, Kane Yoke, Jason Clayton. All those boys run down Alfshot and Marks. So all the Wesley boys.
So shout out to those boys, and it sounds like you're all pushing each other really well. Well done tonight, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And back to you guys.
Commentary now.
So we turn back to the women's A 1500 metre race, clear 500 metres. The highest seeded athlete in this race, Georgina Hansen, is sitting in second, right up on the shoulder there. She's got a seed time of 4:24, but for her might be just about a good hit out tonight. We'll see. The athletes did go through just under that 70-second pace from what I remembered, which would be on pace for about a 4:24, 1500 metres.
Yeah, that'd be great to see. Our current leader from Tigerland, Nia Jones. So she's looking quite comfortable. But
yellow and black.
There's a good group of athletes and a nice pack, so I think this will be a pretty exciting last 700 metres, Michael.
That's it. There are a number around that 4:25 to 4:35 PBs, and then a few others a bit short of that, but we'll be hanging on to that pack nonetheless as well, just making it thicker. However, a few do start to string out at the back there. So we'll look at this 1K time, which they come up to. The pace will be about a 2:56 if they want to crack the 4:25 barrier, which they will fall just short of, but that is Georgie's PB only. So still in PB range for many of the athletes, and still very closely bunched. It'll be interesting to see this last 400 metres. Abby Caldwell is right up there as well.
Yeah, I think we can expect a very brisk, very fast last lap.
Maxine Pollock as well from South Melbourne is in the mix. So it's Georgina Hansen, 400 metres to go. She has taken the lead by a few metres.
She's doing great, but it's Whitney Sharp in second.
Sharp.
She's also looking very strong. There's a group of about 4 that's broken up now to 2 athletes that are chasing for third.
That's it.
I think that's Caldwell, who's moved up into third position.
Yeah, she's looking very speedy indeed. He's getting up on the shoulder of Whitney Sharp before we know it, I reckon. And it's all Georgina Hansen up the front. 200 metres to go. She's just striding out, bridging that gap a little bit. We will look back as Abby Caldwell jumps on Whitney Sharp's shoulder, clearing Whitney Sharp by a metre or 2. And is she bridging that gap on Georgina Hansen? Is Hansen just going to be too strong as we move into the front straight there?
Yeah, Hansen's looking very strong, but been a big move from O'Sullivan on that back straight. She's moved up into 4th, so she can expect a fast time, but taking this race out in a phenomenal run, that'll be Georgia Hansen.
And a 4:23, so very, very strong last lap. Abby Caldwell in second, and I think Sophie O'Sullivan did just nudge ahead for that 3rd place, followed by Whitney Sharp. Very strong run for the athlete from St Stevens in 4th place there.
So pretty exciting race, Michael. Oh. So we got the men's A up next. This is it.
Flown.
I think this will be a really interesting race. I'm very excited to see what Andy Buchanan can run in this one. He's in phenomenal form at the moment. He ran a great race at Zatopek, 29.08. He's the national cross-country champion, but he also had a pretty good race up at Lawn just the other week at the Mount to Surf.
The Mount to Surf,
Yes.
what a great fun run. If anyone hasn't done that,
Yeah,
well worth making the entry for next year. Run through the mountains. Liam Cashin is another one to watch, the athlete from Western Afs. Not being biased, but he did have a great rate in the last Milers Club. 3:49 is his PB. Matty Clark as well, old Zavarians. He's been training up at Falls Creek a little bit over the summer and has just moved into speed work. He's got a few races lined up, so very strong athlete, great one to watch. And just a weather check as well. James, what do you reckon? What are you thinking?
I stuck with 34 all night, so.
34, you reckon, still?
Yeah, 34.
32.9.
Oh,
so still very hot conditions. The heat has come off a bit since 6:30, but
World record, 2:38, 1,500 metres. So we just had a world record.
so I just heard from the commentary, Dean Kenzie from Tasmania broke a world record in the T38 class, Paralympic world record in T38 class in the 1500 in one of the early races tonight. So great run from Dion there indeed. It's very impressive. So we turn our attention, we'll run through the start list for the men's A race. Station 1, Ed Bysher, Old Scotch, Mitchell Cashin, St Stevens, Brendan Press, Queensland, Kane Nyock from Knox, Matthew Clark, as it's on the start list, Old Zavarians, Liam Cashin, Western Athletics, Tom Thorpe will go with St Stevens, Will Lewis, St Kevin's, Michael Marantali from Athletics Essendon, Lachlan Aspinall, St Stevens, Jack Holden, St Kevin's, Nicholas Bagot from Box Hill, Andy Buchanan, or Andrew Buchanan from Bendigo, Tim Logan, Diamond Valley, Cody Shanahan, another strong athlete from Western Athletics, and the 2 Queenslanders in Callum Davies and Max Whiteoak from Queensland.
Andrew Buchanan, Bendigo University. Tim Logan, Diamond Valley. Cody Shanahan, Western Athletics. Callum Davies, Queensland.
Georgie, who have you got down there while we've got this race?
Queensland contingent here.
the 1500 tonight rather than the 8?
Well, I guess like coming back from a bit of a break over the past.
So it's Tim Logan who is moving through that first lap in the lead, clearing a lead of about 5 metres into Andy Buchanan, going through about a 61 second to lead him on to about 3:48, 1500 metres. So, as mentioned, Andy Buchanan and Matty Clark, ones to watch out for, sitting in second and third, who are creeping their way up to Tim Logan in the lead, James.
Yeah, so we got Thomas Thorpe, who's right up there as well, along with a fellow St. Stephen's teammate in Mitchell Cashin.
That's it, the young athlete from St. Keithans as well. I think Will Lewis is actually more towards the back. That is Jack Holden, the slightly older but still fairly young athlete from St. Keithans, is up there. So it is Buchanan moving into the lead with Matt Clark up on his shoulder, not letting him get away. Liam Cashin's right there in the mix as well. Tom Thorpe from St. Stephen's, we can see.
Yeah, Matthew Clark looking very smooth there. He would have just gotten back from his stint of altitude training up at Falls Creek, so he'd be pretty keen to run fast tonight. But Buchanan's looking ever so smooth at the moment.
That's it. Lachlan Aspinall up there as well, just behind Cashin, sitting on the inside. About 900 metres to go. It could be anyone, but Andy Buchanan and Matty Clark are looking very strong up the front.
Yeah, I think either of those two would be pretty tough to beat at the moment. The field's strung out too, so hopefully this is indicative of a pretty quick time.
So yeah, moving through the first K in a 2:35, which leads more towards a 3:50, but with a strong kick down, I reckon they can even break that. So it is Andy Buchanan in the lead, Matty Clark second. Looks like one of our interstaters in third.
Yeah, Buchanan's looking great at the moment, and Matthew Clark right on his heels and
a bit. So 3:05, 300 to go. Matty Clark jumping up on Andy Buchanan's shoulder. The interstate athlete not too far away. Apologies for not identifying who you are. So it's Matt Clark, 200 metres to go. He is extending that lead slightly, 2 into 3 metres. 150 to go. Andy Buchanan's not going to let him get away. The interstater as well.
Yeah, Buchanan's coming back a little bit, but
there's Callum Davies from Queensland who is sitting in third. It will be Matty Clark though, unless Andy Buchanan can find a second win. He's coming though. He is coming, but it's going to be Matt Clark who will hold on to this win in a time of 3:47. Andrew Buchanan pretty closely behind. Callum Davies from Queensland makes it to PB Town as well. The athletes from Western Athletics, the strong club of Western Athletics.
Yes, Western Aths.
We get it, do we? We get it?
We get it. No, they ran very well.
That's it. Liam Cashin and Cody Shanahan. Great runs by the boys there.
Yeah, Cody Shanahan took out that Zatopek 3K and had a nice drink afterwards to rehydrate.
That's it. Lots of water, we mean. And I think they both got under the 350 mark as well, so PBs for the Western Aths boys as well.
Yeah, right on it. And then right behind them was Tom Thorpe. I think he might have come through in 351 or so, but he was coming home hard. But
that's it. Great
run from Clarkie.
So we've had those two leaders from the very start who were looking strong and led the way. Didn't hide in the pack. That was a good one. Yep, peace, Tom Thorpe.
Thanks for that, mate. Well run, mate.
And of course, good luck. We've got major races coming up as well as the Interclub. Have a safe trip home.
To see what Clarkie's got to say.
That's it. Over to Matty Clark. Thanks, Georgie.
Okay, Georgie, we're going to go down to you. You got Matt Clark down there, is that right?
Yep, so down here with Matt Clark from Old Savs, who's just going from strength to strength over the last in Wolfpack. That last 56 lap, you just put the speed on, got ahead. Was that your original plan?
Yeah, so Justin sent me a text just before. He said,
not going to be a pacer, so just focus on winning the race. And Brandy's pretty strong. I was thinking about taking it on, so I just thought if I sit off him, hopefully I've got something in the last 300. And I did tonight, so that was good.
So what's the plan in terms of nationals? What event are you going to compete in?
1500. Yeah.
Well, all the best with it, and back to you guys up there.
Thanks, Georgie.
No worries.
Thanks.
Yeah. So good.
Of Vic Milers. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Meet 3 of Vic Milers Club here at Lakeside Stadium. James, what was your highlight tonight?
I'd have to say Matty Clark in that A1500. He looked very good and very strong over that last lap, and obviously that stint at Falls Creek paid off, and it's good to see athletes rewarded for their hard work. So Matty Clark's my highlight for tonight. How about yours, Michael?
I reckon it was the phenomenon of Georgia Squared tonight. So Georgia Griffith in the 800 and Georgia Hansen in the 1500. So 2 Georgias getting it done tonight in very, very quick times. Another B qualifier for Georgia Griffiths as well in the 800. So great night, warm, but lots of fast running, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one at Melbourne Uni, the Victorian Milers Championships. Good night.
Thanks, guys.